ai thấy không được em nhận, em được hiểu không?
Don't despair, I'll be back soon, so don't worry about it. I'll bring back some pictures and we'll have some good stories to tell.
So, do you know the lesson for next week?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Yeah. Alright, so next week we have some really great lessons.
That's a professional.
Even though we're on vacation, we still have to keep our listeners happy. Yeah.
Even if you're on the run, you still manage to do your job well.
Of course.
Bravo, un applauso.
Alright, so we have this lesson about pizza and you are on it, right? You are giving us your professional Italian insight about pizza.
Ah, yes. Zippa, you mean?
The zippa, yes. We're going to be teaching you some vocabulary related to the ingredients in pizza and how to make. They have great pizza in Cambodia, by the way. Yeah.
This pizza is from Cambodia, no?
It's originally from Cambodia and then it was taken over to Italy. Yeah, I think Marco Polo brought it. Yeah, back to Italy. Yeah.
Marco Polo is responsible for everything. So what are the other lessons?
Alright, our next lesson for next week is head chef. Alright, so it's all about food next week. About food, we have a lesson that's about cooking. So it's really important to know some vocabulary and some phrases that you would use when you're cooking. Yeah, that's good. And even when you go to a restaurant, you have to order food, right? So you better know what you're ordering. Exactly. And in this lesson, we're going to have a French chef.
Alright. Let's just remember that Chef Tabasco here, Leo is also Chef Tabasco.
Yeah, Chef Tabasco is a very good chef.
And also check out his cooking show at Spanish Pod.
Yeah, cooking with Tabasco, it's really, really good. No, by the way, you are really good. Oh, thank you. Alright, and our last lesson for next week, part 5 of I'm Sorry I Love You. Nice! I've been waiting for that for a while.
Spicy love.
Spicy love, yeah, it's really good.
What's happening in part 5?
So in part 5, the couple is going to the doctor. Because remember in part 4, they were like, no, because in part 4, remember she said that she's pregnant. So they're going to the doctor to know if she is or not. Well, you have to listen to the lesson and see what happens. So, really good, more drama, more suspense, everything like that. So basically, that's about it. Oh, what is that? Oh my God. Alright, no, we gotta run. Hey, Marco, we'll talk to you later.
Hello? Leo? Marco Zero, Leo? Seems like we have some connection problems and our friends probably are now in troubles. Anyway, this is all for now for englishpod.com. Just go to the website and do whatever you usually do there. Remember englishpod.com. Be sure to comment on the website and to see, to check out the new lessons and see if Marco comes back alive. Anyone? For Leo, we don't really care. Okay, ciao.
englishpod.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of This Just In. I'm joined in the studio by
The mysterious man.
the mysterious man with the Italian accent.
Oh, damn. Marco.
No, I'm the mysterious man.
With the Mexican accent.
The mysterious Mexican
So
accent.
Leo and Marco from Italian Pod.
Hello, nice to be here.
That's nice.
Thanks for having me again.
And I am Marco, and Leo and I are back from our small adventure.
I survived!
We didn't get eaten by wild beasts that were guarding the temples of Anchor.
But almost.
So it's great, guys, that you could come back here and solve all the problems that you had, and you know, like. The newspapers here talked a lot about your case, and you know, it's. I was worried for a while.
Corruption always makes its way, you know.
Yeah. No, but we're back and no worries now. So we're gonna be doing our thing like we always do.
Let's do our thing.
What's our thing?
Let's do our thing. Well, let's talk about the lessons that are coming up this week.
Oh, that's our thing.
Let's do it, Marco Zero.
Well, we have a lot of sports lessons coming out, and this week we're going to be talking about hockey.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So,
The thing with the disc on the...
Nice.
nice, yeah. Is hockey not a big thing in Italy?
Not really.
Not really.
We have another game where there is a ball and the people that have to throw the ball to a certain part of the field.
You mean football?
I'll go crazy for that.
Yeah,
Go chase this
I've heard
ball.
about it.
And then there's one guy dressed all in yellow or black and he gets angry all the time. Like, he got cards.
He's got cards. He's throwing around cards with different colors.
And hockey is not really like that, right?
No.
Like the more you hit the people, the more the referee is happy. It's like, yes, more.
I think
See
that's,
some blood.
I think that's why I like hockey better than soccer because, you know, like in soccer, they barely touch the other player and he's rolling on the floor and he's crying. In hockey, like...
We're good at that. That's why hockey is not that popular.
Exactly.
If you just dive, people are gonna go and find some more and beat the beat out of you.
Well, Italians do have a good reputation of being amazing actors on the soccer field.
Thank you.
And, hello, English learners. Welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be bringing you a very useful lesson about being sick.
Yeah, we're going to learn how to tell your boss that you can't go to work because you're sick.
Exactly. This is really important because we all get sick and sometimes you just can't go to work.
Yes, or maybe sometimes you just don't want to go to work.
Exactly. Maybe you're lying.
Yeah.
But we're going to be teaching you how to do it anyways. So before we start with our dialogue, let's take a look at vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
In this vocabulary preview, we have 2 words for you. The first one is quite ill.
Quite ill.
Quite ill.
So quite ill.
Very sick.
Very sick. Quite is a synonym of very.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ill.
Sick.
Sick.
Yep.
So they both mean the same thing. No difference.
No difference at all. I just think ill is more common in British English.
Exactly. All right. Let's take a look at our second word. Flu.
The flu.
The flu.
The flu.
So the flu is a virus.
Yeah, it's a sickness.
Okay. And it's very similar to a cold.
Yes, but just a lot worse.
A lot worse. So it's stronger.
Yeah. It's also called influenza.
Influenza. Exactly. So the flu. Okay, so let's listen to our dialogue. What's going to happen here today?
Well, we're going to listen as Julie calls her boss to tell him she's sick.
All right, but is she really sick?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Hello, Daniel speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Daniel. Julie here.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
Actually, I'm feeling quite ill today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
I think I'm coming down with flu. I have a headache, a sore throat, a runny nose, and I'm feeling slightly feverish.
See, so you're calling in sick.
Yes, I was hoping to take the day off to recover.
Okay then. Try and get some rest.
All right, so Julie didn't really seem to be sick, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. That cough was just a little too much.
It seemed like she was acting.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at some of this vocabulary in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
We have 5 words for you here, and these are all great words to describe a sickness, right? All right, the first one, headache.
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 So when you have a headache, you have a sore head, right?
Right, your head hurts. So it's pretty simple.
Yep.
You have a headache.
It's the way you feel after being at the bar too late.
Yeah, when you drink too much, you get a headache.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at our next word. Sore throat.
Sore throat.
Sore throat.
Sore throat.
So basically, we have 2 words here. Let's look at the first one. Sore.
Hurting.
It hurts, right?
Yeah.
And your throat is
Well, it's the part right here, right? The back. You can't see me. Well, it's the part at the back of your mouth that goes down to your stomach.
All right, that's your throat.
Yeah.
So you use your throat to swallow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we can use the word sore with different body parts, right?
Yeah, like a sore back.
A sore back, right? Or maybe you were playing tennis all weekend, so you have a sore arm.
Or even a sore neck.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the word sore. Let's take a look at our third word. Runny nose.
Runny nose.
Runny nose.
Runny nose.
This is a very strange word.
I know.
But it doesn't mean that your nose is running, right?
No, but okay. But when you have a runny nose, there's lots of water coming out of your nose, right?
Right.
So it's interesting though, because when you run, you go fast, right?
So a lot of water is
Coming fast out of your nose.
out of your nose. Runny nose.
Yeah.
Okay. Our fourth word today, slightly feverish.
Slightly feverish.
Slightly feverish.
Slightly feverish.
So again, slightly is
A little bit.
a little bit, huh? A little bit, and feverish.
Well, let's break this word down. We know fever, right? So when your body is very, very hot because you're sick. So feverish is the feeling of your body being very, very hot.
Okay, so you have a high temperature.
It's not that you have a high temperature, but you feel like you have a high temperature.
Okay, so slightly feverish. And our last word, to recover.
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 So this means to get better, right?
Exactly.
Can you only use it when you're sick?
So when you recover, you get better and you rest. So maybe you can say, I was so busy this week. I need to recover this weekend.
Okay, so yeah, if you feel tired or
Yeah.
you feel sick, you can recover. Okay, let's listen to our dialogue again, and we can listen to these words that we just talked about.
Hello, Daniel speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Daniel. Julie here.
Oh, hi, Julie. How are you?
Actually, I'm feeling quite ill today.
Oh, sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
I think I'm coming down with the flu. I have a headache, a sore throat, a runny nose, and I'm feeling slightly feverish.
I see. So you're calling in sick.
Yes,
Chị,
I was hoping
một
to
mình
take
ăn
the
một
day
chiếc
off
tôm ăn nửa với
to
trái
recover.
Mỹ.
Okay then. Try and get some rest.
Canh không thôi nha.
In this dialogue, we listened to some really interesting phrases of how you can tell your boss that you are feeling sick, right?
Yeah, some great phrases. So let's look at these in Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
Okay, let's take a look at our first phrase on Fluency Builder. I'm coming down with.
I'm coming down with.
I'm coming down with.
I'm coming down with.
All right, so let's listen to some examples and then we'll come back and explain this interesting phrase.
Example 1. My throat really hurts. I think I'm coming down with a cold. Example 2.
You have a runny nose. Are you coming down with the flu?
Example 3. I don't feel well. I think I'm coming down with sick.
Okay, so basically coming down with means
Starting to get sick.
I'm beginning to feel sick.
Yes.
Okay, so you can use it with I'm coming down with the flu,
I'm coming down with a cold.
or I'm coming down with a cough,
Yeah. Or I'm coming down with something.
with something. You don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take a look at our second phrase. Calling in sick.
Calling in sick.
Okay, calling in sick.
So this phrase is great. You know, when you say I'm calling in sick, you're saying, hey, I'm not going to come to work today because I am sick.
Okay, so literally it means that you call your office
Yeah.
and you say you're not going to work.
Yes. But it's great because it's 3 words that show such a long idea.
Right, because otherwise you would have to say, I'm calling because I don't feel well, so I'm not going to go to work.
Yes.
But if you say I'm calling in sick, everyone knows that
Everyone understands.
you're not going to go to work.
Yep.
Okay, now let's take a look at our last phrase. Take the day off.
Take the day off.
Take the day off.
Take the day off.
Now this is a great phrase. To take the day off is to
Not go to work.
on that day.
Yes.
Now you can say take the week off.
Take the month off.
Take the month off or take the day off.
You were so lucky.
Alright, so take the day off means to not go to work on that day. Alright, let's listen to our dialogue again now and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Hello, Daniel speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Daniel. Julie here.
Oh, hi, Julie. How are you?
Actually, I'm feeling quite ill today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's wrong?
I think I'm coming down with the flu. I have a headache, a sore throat, a runny nose, and I'm feeling slightly feverish.
Calling in sick.
Yes, I was hoping to take the day off to recover.
Okay, then. Try and get some rest.
Well, Marco, have you ever done what Julie did? Did you ever call your boss to say you're sick when you're not really?
Yeah, of course. I mean, sometimes you just don't feel very well, but you're not really sick. You just don't feel like going to work.
Yes.
Or sometimes you have something to do, right?
Yep. You know what we call those in Canada? We call them personal days.
Personal days.
Yeah. So you say, oh, I'm going to take a personal day, meaning
Oh.
I'm going to call in sick, but then go shopping.
We used to do that a lot because, for example, soccer games are such a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, sometimes you would have a soccer match between, I don't know, Brazil, and it would be maybe at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. So everyone would call in sick on that day.
Yeah, so the boss at least could plan that he would have an empty office.
Yeah, or sometimes you would take half the day off. So you would just go, you say, well, I'm not going to make it in the morning, but I'll come in the afternoon.
So you would recover very quickly.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit sick, but I'm going to be better in the afternoon. All right, so, well, if you have any questions or comments, please come to our website. And if you have any calling in sick stories, please let us know.
Yes, you can visit us at englishpod.com, and Marco and I are always there to answer your questions.
All right, folks, so we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Amira and I are here today with an interesting lesson about a hotel situation. Amira, why don't you give us a little bit more information?
Well, the situation is taking place in a hotel, and someone is checking in and is obtaining an upgrade.
An upgrade. Okay, that's an interesting word. Why don't we listen to the dialogue and then we'll come back and explain all this vocabulary.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts.
All right. Roberts. Oh, Mr. Roberts, we've been expecting you. And here is your key card to the presidential suite.
But there must be some mistake. My reservation was for a standard room.
Are you sure? Let me double check.
Yeah, here, this is my confirmation number.
You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to have been a mix-up. Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment. Not to worry. We're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade.
Woohoo! Presidential suite, baby!
Okay, everyone, that is nice, huh?
Yeah, the guy is really excited that he's going to get the presidential suite.
Yes, there's some interesting phrases and vocabulary items here, and I know, Marco, you want to talk about some of them.
Right, the first one, and this is really useful for all of our listeners who travel a lot. This phrase will come in handy, and it is, I have a reservation under the name.
Under the name.
Under the name.
Under the name.
So before we explain this phrase, let's listen to some examples on how it is used in other situations, and then we'll come back and give you more information.
My secretary made a reservation under my name.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't have a reservation under that name.
Do you have a reservation under the name Smith?
All right, some really good examples there on how we could use this phrase in other situations. But just in case, let me explain it real fast. Under the name means that when you go to the restaurant or a hotel and you tell them your name, they know that you are the person that they have been expecting. They have been waiting.
Yes. Well, I have chosen another useful phrase for you, and it is mix up.
Mix up.
Mix up.
Mix up.
There seems to be a mix up. Before we talk about this phrase, let's listen to some examples of how it is used.
There was a mix-up at the airport and my bags were sent to Antarctica.
I'm sorry, sir. There's been a terrible mix-up. We've given you the wrong baby. Okay, that was useful and funny.
Yeah, that's the baby situation.
Oh my god, imagine that happening.
Yeah, I know.
Well, guys, so a mix-up is a confusion or a misunderstanding.
Exactly. Well,
All right, Marco, what do you have for us?
okay, the next word that you should take a look at is overbooked.
Overbooked. Overbooked. Overbooked. What does that mean?
So if a hotel or a flight is overbooked, it means that they are full. They are more than full.
Right, so they cannot accept any more people.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, why is this phrase useful?
Because it happens all the time.
There's so many other situations where you can use this word or get help from other native English speakers. For example, a bus or a train can be overbooked.
Exactly, that's really common. Okay, let's take a look at the last phrase for today, and that is complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
Complimentary upgrade.
So this means that, for example, when the hotel is overbooked and all of their standard rooms are full, they will give you a better room, a more expensive room, but free.
Yes, because it was not your fault.
Right. This also happens sometimes, if you're lucky, on airplane flights.
Yes.
So if you are in economy class on an airplane, but for some reason it's overbooked, they will move you to business class or first class for free.
I have a similar story, but I'm not going to tell you about it now. For now, let's go and listen to the dialogue one more time, and when we come back, we'll talk some more.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you?
I'd like to check in, please. I have a reservation under the name Anthony Roberts.
All right. Roberts. Oh, Mr. Roberts, we've been expecting you. And here is your key card to the presidential suite.
But there must be some mistake. My reservation was for a standard room.
Are you sure? Let me double check.
Yeah, here, this is my confirmation number.
You're right, Mr. Roberts. There seems to be a mix-up. Unfortunately, we're overbooked at the moment.
So...
Not to worry. We're pleased to offer you a complimentary upgrade.
Presidential suite, baby!
I love listening to this dialogue. It's just so nice to see that someone is enjoying his upgrade so much, huh?
Yeah, especially since he was expecting just a really normal room and now he's gonna be treated like a king.
So Marco, have you ever gotten a complimentary upgrade?
Yes, I did. When I was traveling through India, I bought a normal seat in the train, but for some reason, it was overbooked. So I talked to the station manager and I got a complimentary upgrade to first class.
I had a similar experience as well. I was flying from Shanghai to Qatar and I actually had an economy seat, but for some reason they just upgraded me and I was so happy.
Oh, really? Like, it wasn't overbooked?
Well, I'm not sure because normally the night flight is not that full, but they upgraded me for some reason and I was so happy. It was an upgrade to first class.
Wow, that's really cool. I would prefer a first class upgrade on an airplane. Yeah, any day.
Well, you know what really amazed me was like the food you get there. You know, you have a 5-course meal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you get all the drinks you can get, right?
Exactly.
Wow, I would be really happy there. All right, everyone, we're out of time today, but be sure to listen tomorrow because we'll be back again with another great podcast. And also, don't forget to go to our website at englishpod.com and leave us all your questions and comments in our community forum.
Yes, and we would also appreciate your suggestions. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson today. And Marco and I will be back tomorrow with another great lesson for you. But for now, it's bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
Hey, Amira, how are you today?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about this lesson that you have for us today.
Yes, it's actually a very, very useful lesson. It's about someone asking his boss for an assistant.
Oh, okay, an assistant. What's an assistant?
Well, it's someone who helps you with your work around the office.
Okay, great. So let's listen to this dialogue, and when we come back, we'll take a look at all the interesting and useful vocabulary that you'll find.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, we're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad, and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi, I'm Tony.
And we're back. Tony, he's surprised, huh?
Yeah, he's, I don't know why though he's surprised. I think we should talk about that a little bit later.
Yes, for now, let's look at some interesting vocabulary and phrases here. Marco, I know you've chosen one for us.
Yeah, the first one that I want to take a look at is resources.
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 And that means, in this text, basically money.
Right.
So the office doesn't have enough money.
Okay. I've chosen another interesting word for you, and that's understaffed.
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 Now, understaffed means that they don't have enough people working there.
They don't have enough workers.
Right, they don't have enough employees.
Perfect. Okay. The next one is timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, let's listen to how we can use this entire phrase in a different situation so then we can understand what it means. Let's listen.
I was gonna sell my house, but the timing is just not right. Honey, I think we should have a baby.
The timing is just not right.
Okay, great. I guess that makes it clear.
Yes, actually, it's very obvious that it means that it's just not a good time.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. I have another interesting phrase for you, which is weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
Weight off my shoulders.
So, to take weight off my shoulders is another way of saying to help me with my work or to take some of my work away from me.
If you have a lot of things to do and I come and help you, that means that I took some of the weight off your shoulders.
Yes.
Let's look at the next phrase that we have here, and it's give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Give me a hand.
Okay, now this is not literal. It's not that I'm gonna give you somebody's hand, right? Let's listen to some examples and then we can come back and explain what it means.
Can you give me a hand with these boxes?
Neil, I'll need you to give me a hand with the servers.
Here, let me give you a hand with your suitcase.
All right. Give me a hand is another way of saying help or to help out.
Exactly, to help out.
Right.
Perfect.
Now, the last phrase we're going to look at here in this dialogue is keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
Keep our costs down.
So to keep our costs down means to try and not spend so much money.
Exactly. Many companies, for example, now control how much printing you do,
Yes.
right? To
yes.
keep the cost down of paper.
Yeah, so in other words, they do not want to have unnecessary spending.
Perfect. Okay, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue one more time. But I want everyone to listen and see why Tony is surprised at the end when he meets his intern, when he meets his assistant.
Like I told you before, we just don't have the resources to hire you an assistant.
I understand that, but the fact is, you're understaffed.
The timing is just not right. The economy's bad and it's too risky to take on new staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Here's an idea. What if we hire an intern? She would take some of the weight off my shoulders.
She?
Yeah, you know, a recent graduate. She could give me a hand with some of these projects, and we could keep our costs down.
That sounds reasonable. Let me see what I can do. Tony, I'd like to introduce you to your new assistant.
Okay, great. Let's meet her.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Oh, hi. I'm Tony.
Well, you know, Marco, I think that Tony was really surprised because he was kind of hoping to have a female intern.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was expecting. Maybe this guy is a little bit sexist. He thought that an intern should be a girl, but instead he
got Adam.
Exactly, and it looks like Adam is really big and really tall because he's got that deep voice.
Right. An intern, Marco, do you want to elaborate on that?
Working at a company with a very low salary or sometimes no salary at all, but what you're gaining is experience and you're learning a lot of things. Everyone who has been an intern or had an intern knows that sometimes they are not treated all that well. Sometimes they just serve coffee or they have to do paperwork.
Or like photocopying things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some internships are really, really cool and some are really good experiences for learning.
Yes, definitely. Actually, I know a friend of mine. She used to work as an intern in one of those really big companies, and she told me that she has gained so much experience doing that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get paid, the experience that you get is really good. And that just opens doors for maybe getting another job. Or sometimes the interns get hired by the company to stay because they do such a good job.
Yeah, I think that's mostly the case, huh?
Yeah, that happened to me once. I started working as an intern, and after 3 months, I was hired by the company. So it does happen.
So you did a good job.
Yeah, of course. All right, folks, we're out of time today. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson, and we'll be back tomorrow with another really cool and really interesting lesson from EnglishPod. Don't forget to come to our website at englishpod.com, where you'll find some really great and interesting resources to help you learn and improve your English even more.
Yes, you should definitely do that. And Marco and I would love to receive your comments and suggestions that you can leave on our community forum. But for now, it's time for us to say bye.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to EnglishPod. My name is Marco.
I'm Amira.
All right, Amira is here today, and she is going to tell us about the wonderful lesson she has prepared this time.
Well, thank you, Marco. Well, today we have a very interesting lesson prepared for you. It's about someone cutting in line.
Cutting in line, okay.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and we all get very upset about it, but, you know, it happens.
Right, right. Well, I imagine that everyone is wondering what cutting in line is. Why don't we just listen to the dialogue one time, and then when we come back, Amira and I will gladly explain all the vocabulary in this dialogue.
Let's listen.
I believe it took us 2 hours to get here. The traffic in New York is unbelievable.
Yeah, but just relax, honey. We're here and we're going on vacation. In a few hours, we'll be in Hawaii and he'll be on the golf course.
No, look at that line. It must be a mile long. There's no way I'm waiting for another 2 hours.
Honey, don't.
Hey, man, the end of the line is over there.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I was here first, and you can't cut in line like this.
Says who?
I do.
So sue me.
All right, that's it.
Whoa, I think there's punching.
Yeah, I guess this guy is just a crazy, I don't know, impatient man, huh?
Yes, but we don't want to talk about this now. But for now, we will treat some of the vocabulary and very useful phrases in the dialogue.
Great.
So, Marco, do you want to start?
Yes, let's take a look at our first word would be unbelievable.
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 Exactly, and just how you say it, it's something incredible, something amazing.
Yeah, but I would like to point out that unbelievable was used here to describe the man's frustration. He's not happy about the traffic in New York.
Exactly, perfect. Okay, in the next part, the woman, she's trying to calm and relax her husband. And she says that they'll be in Hawaii in a few hours, and you'll be on the golf course.
Right, so we'll be in Hawaii and you'll be on the golf course.
Yes, we'll be in Hawaii and you'll be on the golf course.
So this is a great way of talking about your physical location in the future.
Right. So for example, Amira, tomorrow where will you be?
Don't worry, Marco. I'll be in the office tomorrow.
Perfect, right? That's where I need you to be.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have another interesting phrase here for you. Must be a mile long.
A mile long.
A mile long.
A mile long.
Now, that's basically not a mile. It's not a kilometer long. but it's another way of saying that this line is really, really long.
Right, it's just an exaggeration. Now let's take a look at there's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Perfect. Let's listen to some other examples on how we use there's no way in a different situation, and then we can come back and talk about it a little bit more.
There's no way I can have those reports finished today.
The stadium is so crowded that there's no way we'll find a seat.
Do you think Michael's gonna buy that house?
There's no way he has enough money to buy it.
All right, everyone. So there's no way is another way of saying it is impossible.
Exactly. There's no way you should miss this podcast, right?
Yes. Well, I have another phrase for you as well. Cut in line.
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 So again, we have some really good examples on how you could use this phrase in different situations. Let's listen to the examples and then we can come back and talk about it some more.
Excuse me, I'm really late. Can I cut in line, please?
I hate it when people cut in line at the bank. It's so rude.
I think it's okay when a pregnant woman cuts in line.
All right, everyone. Cut in line.
Right, so from the examples, we can understand that it means when you are standing in line somewhere and somebody gets in front of you.
Right. I have another phrase for you here. Sue me.
Sue me.
Sue me.
Sue me.
Okay, now sue me is not a nice phrase. If you hear that, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's kind of rude, I guess, to say sue me.
Right. Well, it actually means like taking someone to court and asking for money because someone has harmed you in a way. I think that we should listen to the dialogue one more time and try to figure out why he used that phrase and if he's really going to take him to court.
I can't believe it took us 2 hours to get here. The traffic in New York is unbelievable.
Yeah, but just relax, honey. We're here and we're going on vacation. In a few hours, we'll be in Hawaii and he'll be on the golf course.
No, look at that line. It must be a mile long. There's no way I'm waiting for another 2 hours.
Honey, don't.
Hey, man, the end of the line is over there.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I was here first, and you can't cut in line like this.
Says who?
I do.
So sue me.
All right, that's it.
All right, we're back. Now, this guy, when he says sue me, he's just being rude. I mean, he's just being kind of
Impolite.
and telling him, I don't care.
Right. Exactly.
Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Okay, today in the studio we have a guest. Her name is Sarah, and she's from England.
Hi there.
Hello.
All right. So we're gonna be asking her a couple of questions, and she'll be a frequent guest on our show, so you can expect to hear from her a lot.
Well, she didn't know that.
it's a surprise.
She knows now.
Well, Sarah, our topic today is about jumping the queue.
Okay, Amira, wait. What is this jump the queue?
It's the same as cut in line, but in British English.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Queuing. It's very important in England. We're very proud of our queues. It's true. It's true.
So what would be the reaction of people if they cut in line?
I think we do take it very seriously. I'm laughing now, but it's quite serious. So you don't jump the queue. If people jump in front of you, it's you get a little tuts and sort of, you shouldn't be doing that. And we make it very obvious. And in the
So you say it out loud.
We would, perhaps say something, and we have systems, in London on the metro, on the underground. You have to stand on the escalators on the right and queue, and you can't jump in front. You have to walk on the left and queue on the right. And it's all very serious. There's rules and regulations.
Is there like a queue handbook that you have to read in high school and kind of take a test on?
Perhaps there should be, yeah.
Wow.
What about New York, Marco?
Well, no, definitely, I guess this dialogue is similar to a reality of New York. If somebody gets in front of you or cuts the line, somebody's going to say something and probably end up in a fight if the guy is rude. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, why don't you tell us, is there a line or a queue for almost everything in England?
It seems like we do just like to form a queue. Yeah. So,
Can you think of like some other examples of where you would normally you wouldn't queue but you do?
Oh gosh, things like in the supermarket when you're trying to find some vegetables or something. I'd never sort of reach round or anything. I'd just wait until that person had finished picking up their stuff, and then go in. So it just to try and.
So if like 5 people want to buy oranges at the supermarket, then you have a little mini queue of 5 people
maybe a little bit. Just,
waiting.
There's no sort of just shoving through it to the front. You just don't do that.
So you don't stick your hand out and grab like a tomato.
Well, if you do, again, you would make sure that person knows, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just in a hurry or whatever. But yeah, it's just letting someone go before you. It's a courtesy, I think.
Okay.
It's quite important to us.
All right.
Right.
Great
Well,
stuff.
thank you so much, Sarah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll have you back very soon. So, all right, we're out of time, but we'll be back tomorrow with another lesson. And be sure to visit our website. Don't forget that EnglishPod.com has many, many resources and also a community of users and teachers that can help you answer questions and interact with you.
Yes, and you should definitely leave your suggestions. But for now, I wish you all well, and bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
How are you, Erica?
Marco, I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited because today we're talking about travel.
That's right. We're going to give you some real English to talk about travel.
Exactly. English that you would use in everyday life, that you hear in movies and TV shows.
English people actually use.
Exactly. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this lesson for today?
Okay, so today we are going to listen as a husband and wife get ready to go on a trip.
All right, that sounds a little bit complicated.
Well, let's look at our 2 preview words.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, so the first word that we have is road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Okay, so road trips are really fun and interesting, right?
Road trips are great. You get to get in a car with your family and drive on a vacation.
Yeah, those are really fun, and they're really popular in North America.
Really popular. I've been on a million road trips.
All right, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But now let's take a look at our second word, and it's the car's packed.
The car's packed.
The car's packed.
The car is packed.
So when your car is packed, it means that
everything you need is inside the car.
All right, so your bags, your food, everything that you need for your trip.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so those were our 2 preview words, and now we are ready to listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Okay, this dialogue will be at normal speed. It will be fast, but don't worry if you don't understand everything.
After 10 minutes, we promise you will understand everything in this lesson.
So, are we all ready to go?
Yep, I think so. The car's packed, we have munchies and music, and the map's in the car.
Did you get the camera?
Got it. Did you fill up the tank?
Yep, it's all set.
You're sure we're not forgetting anything?
I'm sure. We've got all our bases covered.
Well, let's get going then. I love road trips. Do you think we can make a pit stop?
But we've only been on the road for 10 minutes.
I know, but I forgot to go to the bathroom before we left.
Well, she forgot to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I hate it when this happens.
This happens to me on almost every road trip.
Okay, great. So now it's time for our language takeaway. We have 3 words for our language takeaway today.
Language takeaway.
And the first word is munchies.
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 So munchies are
Snacks.
snacks, food,
Food, chips,
cookies,
chocolate bars.
all that good stuff.
I love munchies.
And they're really good when you're taking a road trip.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's take a look at our second language takeaway word for today, and it is fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank. So this is to
Put gas in your car.
put gas in the gas tank.
In the gas tank, exactly.
All right, our last language takeaway today is
Pit stop.
pit stop.
Pit stop.
Make a pit stop.
It's a quick stop for you to get some gas, food, go to the bathroom.
Yeah, a pit stop, a quick stop.
Great, so now it's time for putting it together.
Putting it together.
Okay, so we have 2 great phrases for you today. Let's take a look at the first one.
We've got all our bases covered.
We've got all our bases covered.
We've got all our bases covered.
This is a really great phrase, and it's really useful, right?
Yeah, let's listen to a couple of examples.
Example 1.
We've got all our bases covered in case the hurricane hits.
Example 2.
Okay, I have my keys, wallet, and passport. Looks like I have all my bases covered.
Okay, it's clear now, but you can use this in a lot of different situations, right?
You can use this in many situations. If I'm at work, I could say, all right, you've got a really good marketing plan. We've got all our bases covered.
Exactly. We have everything ready.
We're all prepared.
Perfect. All right. Now let's take a look at our second phrase, and it's let's get going.
Let's get going.
Let's get going.
Let's get going.
All right. So when you say let's get going, it just means
Let's start.
let's start. Let's go.
Yep.
Okay. But the interesting thing about this phrase is you can change it a little bit and it means something different.
Let's listen to a couple of examples.
Example 1.
I have the chicken, so let's get cooking.
Example 2.
This house is really scary. Let's get out of here.
Example 3.
I have another meeting in 20 minutes, so let's get down to business.
So let's get down to business, Marco.
Let's get down to business. Let's listen to the dialogue one more time, but this time
It'll be a little bit slower and you'll understand much better.
So, are we all ready to go?
Yep, I think so. The car's packed, we have munchies and music, and the map's in the car.
Did you get the camera?
Got it. Did you fill up the tank?
Yep, it's all set.
You're sure we're not forgetting anything?
I'm sure. We've got all our bases covered.
Well, let's get going then. I love road trips. Do you think we can make a pit stop?
But we've only been on the road for 10 minutes.
I know, but I forgot to go to the bathroom before we left.
So that was a little more clear this time, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can definitely understand better about what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time to look at Fluency Builder. Erica, why don't you explain what Fluency Builder is?
In Fluency Builder, we give you some great, useful phrases to help you express your ideas clearly.
Okay, great. So let's look at Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
All right, so we all know how to ask the question, are we ready to go?
That's right. You can say, can we go now?
Or you can say, are we ready to go?
Exactly. But there's another way that we can say this, and we heard it in our dialogue. So let's listen.
So, are we all ready to go? So, are we all ready to go?
Wow, that sounds really good. It sounds a lot more fluent.
Fluent, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so another simple phrase that we all know how to say is, it is ready.
It is prepared.
It is ready.
Right.
So these examples are fine. They're right.
Yeah, they're correct English, no problem.
But there's another way to say this that we heard in the dialogue, and it sounds a lot more fluent.
Yep, it's all set. Yep, it's all set.
It's all set. That sounds much better.
Yes, and we're all set to listen to this dialogue for a third time, and this time it's going to be at its normal speed.
So, are we all ready to go?
Yep, I think so. The car's packed, we have munchies and music, and the map's in the car.
Did you get the camera?
Got it. Did you fill up the tank?
Yep, it's all set.
You're sure we're not forgetting anything?
I'm sure. We've got all our bases covered.
Well, let's get going then. I love road trips. Do you think we can make a pit stop?
But we've only been on the road for 10 minutes.
No, but I forgot to go to the bathroom before we left.
So, Erica, you said you've been on a million road trips. What was that all about? Where have you been?
Okay, well, maybe not a million road trips, but many road trips. Every summer, I used to go on a road trip with my family, and we would drive many, many hours, probably 8 hours in one day, up to northern Canada.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, and then we would go camping, and we would sleep outside, and we would have a campfire at night. It was great.
Ah, family road trip.
Yeah, but maybe 8 hours in a car is a little too long.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been on a different kind of road trip with some buddies of mine, some friends. We would drive to Las Vegas.
Really?
Yeah. So that's really fun. A bunch of crazy guys in a car going to Las Vegas and then just having fun and talking about everything. So that's a much different experience than a family road trip.
Maybe that sounds a little bit more fun.
Yeah, 8 hours in a car is not really that boring with all your friends. All right, folks, we're out of time for today, but be sure to visit our website at englishpod.com and leave all your questions and comments.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye. Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
Hey, Erica, how are you today?
Marco, I am doing really well, and I'm really looking forward to today's lesson.
Well, so am I, because here at English Pod, we're giving you real English.
Everyday English.
Exactly, English that you hear in movies or in TV shows.
This is English people actually use.
So, Erica, what is our topic for today?
Well, today we're talking about computer viruses.
Perfect. So I think it's time for us to take a look at our preview.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, today we've got 2 words to preview. The first word is virus.
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 So if your computer has a computer virus, it means your computer's sick, right?
Actually, a computer virus is a program that is designed to harm or to damage your computer.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, thank you for being so technical.
That's the technical explanation. Okay, let's take a look at our second word for our preview today, and that would be froze.
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 So if your computer froze, it means that
Your computer stopped working.
your applications or your programs stop working and you just can't do anything.
Your computer's broken.
Okay, great. So let's listen to our dialogue. It's gonna be a little bit fast, but
Don't worry if you don't understand everything. At the end of this podcast, you'll understand everything.
perfect. Let's listen.
Great. The stupid computer froze again. That's the third time today. Hey Samuel, can you come take a look at my PC? It's acting up again. It must have a virus or something.
Just give me a second. I'll be right up.
I ran a virus scan on your computer and it turns out that you have a lot of infected files.
But I'm quite careful when I'm browsing the internet. I had no idea how I could have picked up a virus.
Well, you have to make sure that your antivirus software is updated regularly. Yours wasn't up to date. That's probably what was causing your problem.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, try not to kick or hit the computer.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, I completely understand this guy. When my computer freezes, I kick it and punch it and do everything to it.
Well, I hope you don't punch it too hard, Marco.
Well, it's still working, so it's all right.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
In today's language takeaway, we have 2 words. The first word for today is infected file.
Infected file.
Infected file.
Infected file. And what is an infected file?
An infected file is a file in your computer that has a virus in it.
Ah, perfect. That's really clear. What is our second word for the language takeaway today?
Our second word is not up to date.
Not up to date.
Not up to date.
And what is it when something is not up to date?
It means it doesn't have all the most recent information.
Okay, perfect. Now let's listen to some examples.
Example 1. I need to buy a new computer because mine isn't up to date. Example 2.
I can't find the street. Are you sure this map is up to date?
Example 3.
Sarah has just finished the reports and all the information is up to date.
Okay, that was pretty clear. You know, you can also use this phrase positively. You can say, up to date.
Okay, for example, we can say this is a new map. This is the most up-to-date map.
Exactly. Or if I bought a new computer, I could say, I just got a new computer. All my software is up to date.
Okay, great. So now let's take a look at some phrases.
And it's time for putting it all together.
Putting it together.
Okay, so Samuel said a really great phrase. He said, I'll be right up.
I'll be right up.
I'll be right up.
I'll be right up. Now, we can use this phrase in a lot of different situations, so let's listen to some examples.
Example 1.
Can you help me with my computer?
I'll be right there.
Example 2.
Come downstairs. Dinner is ready.
I'll be right down.
Example 3.
Hurry up! I need to use the bathroom!
I'll be right out.
Okay, really great and clear examples, right?
Yeah, you know that phrase, I'll be right out? I used to hear this all the time when I was young.
Really? How come?
Well, I have two sisters and we were always fighting for the bathroom. So someone was always saying, just a minute, I'll be right out.
Ah, yes, that's common. I had that too when I was young. Okay, now our second phrase is it turns out that.
It turns out that.
It turns out that.
It turns out that. This is a great phrase. You can use it in many different situations. Marco, can you give us an example?
Sure. For example, I can say Frank didn't come to work today and it turns out that he was sick.
Yep. Or I could say, oh, I've been feeling really sick recently.
Why?
You know, it turns out that I'm pregnant.
Oh my God, are you really pregnant?
No, I'm not, Marco. I'm just kidding.
All right, okay, so it's time for us to listen to our dialogue again, but this time it'll be
a little bit slower.
All right.
Oh, great. This stupid computer froze again. That's the third time today. Hey, Samuel, can you come take a look at my PC? It's acting up again. It must have a virus or something.
Just give me a second. I'll be right up. I ran a virus scan on your computer, and it turns out that you have a lot of infected files.
But I'm quite careful when I'm browsing the internet. I have no idea how I could have picked up a virus.
Well, you have to make sure that your antivirus software is updated regularly. Yours wasn't up to date. That's probably what was causing your problems.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, try not to kick or hit the computer.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, that was a lot more clear this time.
Definitely, yeah, I understood a lot more. Okay, so now it's time to look at Fluency Builder. Erica, why don't you explain what Fluency Builder is?
In Fluency Builder, we give you some great, useful phrases to help you express your ideas clearly.
Okay, great, so let's look at Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so in this dialogue, we know his computer wasn't working.
Right. So many students would probably say his computer was acting strangely.
His computer isn't working properly.
Exactly. And that's perfect and that's fine.
Yeah, but there's a really great way to say it that we heard in the dialogue.
It's acting up again. It's acting up again.
I love this phrase, it's acting up. Yeah, it sounds really natural.
It sounds really natural. Okay, we're ready to listen to our dialogue a third time, but this time
it'll be at the normal speed. Try and see if you can hear these key words.
Oh, great. The stupid computer froze again. That's the third time today. Hey, Samuel, can you come take a look at my PC? It's acting up again. It must have a virus or something.
Just give me a second. I'll be right up.
I ran a virus scan on your computer, and it turns out that you have a lot of infected files.
But I'm quite careful when I'm browsing the internet. I have no idea how I could have picked up a virus.
Well, you have to make sure that your antivirus software is updated regularly. Yours wasn't up to date. That's probably what was causing your problems.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, try not to kick or hit the computer.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So, Marco, I really think that my computer actually has a virus now.
Really? How come?
Because I have been turning on my computer and then suddenly it turns off by itself. It shuts down by itself.
Yeah, that sounds like a virus.
But I ran a virus scan and there was no problem.
Well, maybe your antivirus software isn't up to date.
Yeah, I guess I'd better call Samuel.
Yeah, you can call Samuel to fix it.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're out of time now, but be sure to go to our website at englishpod.com where you can leave all your questions and comments.
So stay tuned for our next great lesson, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye. Hello, English learners, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
How are you, Erica?
Marco, I'm doing really well today.
You excited?
We've got a great lesson for everyone.
Yes, we have a really common situation where we're going to use real English, right?
Yep, everyday English, English that people really use.
And that's what we want you to learn. What are we talking about today specifically?
Today we have a really common situation that is a little bit embarrassing.
All right, an embarrassing situation. So let's listen to the dialogue for the first time, and it's going to be kind of fast.
Yeah, but don't worry if you don't understand everything, because after 10 minutes, you'll understand everything.
Perfect. All right, let's listen.
Nick, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner.
It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure, you still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too.
Wow, Nick forgot her name.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you about it a little bit later.
Okay, all right, well, let's start with our 3 language takeaways.
Language takeaway.
So our first word on our language takeaway is in a bit of a hurry.
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 So Nick was in a hurry.
Yeah, that's right. This is a great phrase. So let's listen to 3 examples of how you can use this phrase.
Example 1.
Can you drive faster? I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Example 2.
I can't talk right now. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Example 3.
I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I'll check these files later.
Okay, so it's clear now. Basically, it means that you don't have time.
You're moving really quickly.
Okay, perfect. Now let's look at our second language takeaway word, and it's contact details.
Contact details.
Contact details.
Contact details.
So what are your contact details?
Basically, this is the information you can find on your business card.
Alright, so we have like our name, our telephone number.
Your email address, perhaps your mobile phone number.
So all the useful information so people can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so people can phone you or email you. Okay, so contact details.
Great. Okay, so our third word is slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
So this is a funny phrase. It's kind of strange, right?
Yeah, slipped my mind. It sounds very weird.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we're going to listen to 2 examples of this phrase. Try and see if you can figure out what it means.
Example 1.
I'm sorry I forgot to respond to your email. It just slipped my mind.
Example 2.
Don't you know what day it is today?
Oh, it's your birthday. It completely slipped my mind.
So slipped my mind is like, I forgot.
You forgot something.
So,
Accidentally.
right.
Okay, great. Now it's time for putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, Erica, why don't you tell our listeners what putting it together is?
Well, putting it together helps you put language together. It helps you be more fluent by knowing how words fit together.
Great, so let's look at our first phrase today. And it's around here.
Around here.
Around here.
Around here. So this is like close by.
Close by, right. I can say, for example, is there a bank around here?
Yeah. So that's, is there a bank close to here?
Exactly.
Now, this phrase, around here, we can change it a little bit, and it means something a little bit different.
Right.
I could say, Marco, there's a great restaurant right around the corner.
Right, and that would mean there is a great restaurant on the other street.
Yep.
Around the corner.
Yep.
Great. Or we have another example. We can say around there.
Around there.
Right. So for example, I can say Los Angeles is a great city. I used to live around there.
So you used to live near Los Angeles.
Exactly.
All right.
It's a really good phrase and it's really common.
Yeah. Now our next phrase in putting it together is terrible with.
Terrible with.
Terrible with.
Terrible with. So we have a couple of examples that will show you how this phrase works.
Example 1. You're terrible with numbers. You can't even remember your own telephone number. Example 2.
I'm terrible with directions. I'm always getting lost.
Example 3. I'm terrible with faces. I can never remember what people look like.
Wow, I understand that. I'm also terrible with numbers. I can barely add 2 plus 2.
Well, yeah, I guess not everyone is a numbers person.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with faces. I sometimes forget what people look like.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I think it's time now for us to listen to our dialogue a second time.
Okay, this time the dialogue will be a little bit slower.
Right.
So try and listen for some of the words we've just talked about.
Nick, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner.
It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure. You still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too.
So it's more clear now. You can understand a lot better, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Great. So now it's time for us to take a look at Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So with Fluency Builder, we take some very simple phrases and show you how you can be more fluent or how you can,
Sound more native.
yeah.
Great. In the beginning of the dialogue, Anna said, Nick, how's it going?
Yeah, this is a great phrase. It sounds really, really natural. You know, sometimes I hear students say, how are you?
Or how are you doing?
Those are 2 great phrases, but this one sounds really, really natural.
It just sounds more casual.
Yeah, let's listen again to that phrase from the dialogue.
How's it going? How's it going?
Great. So next time that you find a friend on the street, you can just say, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. So Marco, have you ever forgotten someone's name?
Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times. And actually, The most embarrassing situation was that I forgot a family member's
No, a
Yeah.
family member's name.
We had like a family reunion, and there were a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins that I hadn't seen in a while, and I just forgot one of my uncle's names, and I was...
Uh-oh, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah,
So what did you do?
Well, I had to ask one of my other cousins. I'm like, hey, who is that guy? He's like, oh, that's Uncle John. I'm like, oh, man, I totally forgot. Yeah, so it was really embarrassing because I didn't know what to call him, so I just called him Uncle because I didn't know his name.
Hi, Uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when that happens to me, when I'm in a business setting, sometimes what I do is I ask for someone's card.
Ah, yeah, that's the good technique.
Yeah, or sometimes I might ask them to write down their email. Because usually their full name is spelled out on their email address. So that's my trick when I've forgotten someone's name.
That's a good trick, and I
Yeah.
guess a lot of our listeners can take your advice on that.
Okay, so I think it's time for us to listen to our dialogue one more time, this time at natural speed.
Nick, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner.
It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure, you still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too.
Well, I hope that you've all enjoyed our lesson for today. And remember to check out our website at englishpod.com.
where you can find a lot of other resources and you can leave all your questions and comments.
Yeah, Marco and I are always on the site, so we're happy to answer all of your questions.
Exactly, so now it's time for us to say
Goodbye.
bye. Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
Erica, today we are really excited, right?
Yeah, we've got a great lesson today all about real English.
Exactly, English that you hear in movies and TV shows.
Yeah, speaking of movies, today's podcast takes place at the movies.
Exactly, and that's why it's so fun today.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. So before we listen to our dialogue, let's take a look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
In today's vocabulary preview, we have two words. And the first word is inconsiderate.
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 So Erica, what is it when someone is inconsiderate?
If someone's inconsiderate, they're not thinking about the feelings of other people.
Right, so for example, yesterday I was on the subway and it was full,
Right?
and an old lady was standing there and no one got up to give her their seat.
That was pretty inconsiderate.
Great, so now let's take a look at our second word, and it's keep it down.
Keep it down.
Keep it down.
Keep it down.
So why don't we listen to some examples on how we use keep it down so we can understand.
Example 1.
Excuse me, do you mind keeping it down? It's after midnight.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Example 2.
I'm trying to study. Do you mind keeping it down?
Example 3.
You mind keeping it down? I'm trying to watch the game.
So that means be quiet.
Yes, don't make so much noise.
I used to hear this one all the time from my mother.
I think we all did when we were children.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's listen to the dialogue for the first time. It's gonna be kind of fast.
But don't worry about it if you can't understand everything. By the end of today's lesson, you will understand this dialogue.
Those people in front of us are making so much noise. It's so inconsiderate.
Don't worry about it. It's not such a big deal.
Oh, I can't hear a thing. Excuse me, can you keep it down?
Sure, sorry about that.
Someone's phone is ringing.
Honey, I think it's your phone. Did you forget to switch it off?
Oh no, you're right. That's so embarrassing.
Do you mind keeping it down? I'm trying to watch a movie here.
Well, I hate it when people's phones ring when I'm watching a movie.
I think everyone gets kind of angry, but we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Why don't we take a look now at our language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
So the language takeaway is our most important words for today's lesson. And our first word today is not such a big deal.
Not such a big deal.
Not such a big deal.
So when something is not a big deal, it's
not a big problem.
It's not important, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's listen to some examples.
Example 1.
I can't get these files to you by tomorrow.
It's okay, it's not such a big deal.
Example 2.
I'm really sorry. I'm gonna be 10 minutes late for the meeting.
It's not such a big deal. Peter and Liam are late too.
Now let's look at our second word, and it's switch it off.
Switch it off.
Switch it off.
Switch it off.
So this word means to turn it off.
To turn something off.
Now, we can use it in 3 different ways.
Yeah, this one is a little bit complicated because it changes a little bit depending on how you use it. So, Marco, I think you've got some examples for us.
Right. So, for example, I can say, did you switch off your phone?
Or you could say, did you switch your phone off?
Right. Or simply you can ask, did you switch it off?
I think this one is a little bit hard. Let's look at a couple more examples.
Okay, so I can say, for example, switch off the TV.
Switch the TV off.
Or switch it off.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
But you know what? We even had trouble with that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we had to do it a couple of times. Okay, now let's look at our last word, and it's can't hear a thing.
Can't hear a thing.
I can't hear a thing.
Can't hear a thing.
Okay, we have some examples for this phrase, so let's listen.
Example 1.
What's going on in there?
I don't know. I can't hear a thing.
Example 2.
What? I'm sorry, this music is too loud. I can't hear a thing.
So that's like saying, I can't hear.
Exactly. I can't hear anything.
It's too loud.
Right. So now we are ready to listen to our dialogue a second time. It's going to be slower.
This time, listen for some of the key words we were explaining.
Those people in front of us are making so much noise. It's so inconsiderate.
Don't worry about it. It's not such a big deal.
I can't hear a thing. Excuse me, can you keep it down?
Sure. Sorry about that.
Someone's phone is ringing.
Honey, I think it's your phone. Did you forget to switch it off?
Oh no, you're right. That's so embarrassing.
Do you mind keeping it down? I'm trying to watch a movie here.
Okay, great. Now with the dialogue slower, it's really understandable.
Yeah, I think you could catch those keywords a lot better.
Perfect. So now we are ready to look at putting it together.
Putting it together.
So in putting it together, we help you use a great phrase in different ways. And today's phrase is, Do you mind?
Do you mind?
Do you mind?
Okay, so let's listen to some examples on how you can use this phrase in different situations.
Example 1.
Do you mind holding my coat for me?
Example 2.
Oh, I forgot my wallet. Do you mind paying for dinner?
Example 3.
Do you mind turning off your phone?
So this phrase is usually pretty polite. I could say to you, Marco, do you mind holding my coat for me?
And that's really polite.
Yeah, so would you mind, do you mind are very polite phrases.
But depending on your voice and how you use your tone, it could be a little bit sarcastic, right?
Yeah, it could be a little bit rude if you say, would you mind keeping it down?
Exactly, like we heard in our dialogue.
Yeah, so that's not so polite.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in English, you have to be careful because your tone of voice tells the other person how you're feeling, if you're angry, sad, or just like in any other language.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, using a phrase like do you mind is a great phrase, but make sure you keep a positive tone in your voice.
Exactly. So now that we've talked about all these great things, we can listen to the dialogue a third time, but it'll be at its normal speed.
Thì ở chỗ nào của đất à?
Those people in front of us are making so much noise. It's so inconsiderate.
Don't worry about it. It's not such a big deal.
I can't hear a thing. Excuse me, can you keep it down?
Sure, sorry about that.
Someone's phone is ringing.
Honey, I think it's your phone. Did you forget to switch it off?
Oh no, you're right. That's so embarrassing.
Do you mind keeping it down? I'm trying to watch a movie here.
So I know that in different countries, there are different habits about watching movies.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Erica, what's it like in Canada?
Well, in Canada, it's really common to eat popcorn and candy and maybe chips while you're watching a movie. But if your phone rings in the movie theater, this is a big problem.
I imagine it is. I mean, I would be upset also.
What about in Ecuador?
Well, in Ecuador and in South America, usually people can bring in food from the outside.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not really uncommon, depending on the city, to find people bringing in chicken or some sort of like really smelly food.
No way.
So you get either really hungry or really upset, but that's what happens.
You know, I used to live in Switzerland, and in Switzerland you would have to eat before you watched the movie. There was no popcorn, no soda, no candy inside the movie theater. Can you imagine that?
I could not live with that because the whole purpose of going to the movies is to have some popcorn and relax and have a good time.
You can't have a movie without popcorn.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about how to ask someone to be quiet today. And I hope that you'll go out and try a few of these phrases in your daily life.
Yes, and I hope also that you visit our website at englishpod.com and leave all your questions and comments.
Marco and I are there every day, so we'll be happy to answer your questions. But until next time,
Bye.
Goodbye.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to another great podcast with English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have another really great lesson for you, elementary lesson.
That's right, and it's another lesson about money.
We have no money here at English Pod. We are in debt here.
In debt?
Yes.
Okay,
In debt.
in debt.
So what does that mean? Why don't you tell us?
If I owe you money, I'm in debt.
In debt.
In fact, I think I am in debt to you.
You owe me $2.50 for a Coke Zero today.
That's true.
All right. Okay, so let's get started. Let's take a look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
We have 2 words today in our vocabulary preview, and the first one is recession.
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 Yeah.
So, recession. Everyone's talking about it right now, and what does it mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Why don't you tell me, Erica? Because this isn't my topic for today.
Okay, recession is a period of time when the economy of a country is doing badly.
In a recession, the country is making less money.
That's true. So maybe we can give a few examples of things that happen in a recession to show the meaning of this a little bit better.
Dạ đúng rồi.
So, for example, in a recession, many people lose their jobs.
Because companies might close or go bankrupt.
Exactly. And also, people start spending less money.
That's true. And the stock prices of companies fall pretty Yeah, they fall a lot, hey?
Yeah. And that's what's going on now in the United States.
Very true.
Okay, so let's take a look at our second word, and it has to do with recession. It's broke.
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 I'm broke.
Broke. It means that you have no money. You're broke.
I'm broke.
Right, so these are our 2 words for vocabulary preview today, and you're going to hear them in dialogue.
This dialogue is about a man who is in debt. He's broke. Let's find out what happens.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Corleone. Right this way, sir. Charlie, what can I do for you? Mr. Corleone, I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I need your help. Anything for you, Charlie. Your father was like a brother to me. Well, sir, you see, this recession has hit me pretty hard. I lost my job and I'm in a lot of debt. I see. Yeah, you know, I've got credit card bills, car payments, I've got to pay my mortgage. And on top of all that, I have to pay my son's college tuition. So you're asking for a loan? Well, I just thought maybe you could help me out. What? At a time like this? I'm broke too, you know. You're not the only one who's been hit by the recession. I lost half my money in the stock market crash. Go on, get out of here.
Okay, so that was a bit unexpected.
Yeah, that was certainly strange. He didn't go to the bank to ask for money, did he?
No, he went to the mob, and the mob is broke.
Oh no, you know it's a bad recession when even the mob runs out of money.
All right, so why don't we start by looking at our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so for today's language takeaway, we have 4 words from the dialogue, which we think are really important.
Yes, so why don't we start with the first one? Loan.
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 So Erica, tell us about a loan. What is a loan?
Okay, when you borrow money, you get a loan.
A loan. Not to be confused with alone, like by myself.
No, so this is L-O-A-N.
Loan.
Right.
Okay, great. Let's take a look at our second word, mortgage.
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 Now this is very common. I'm sure many of you have mortgages. What is a mortgage?
A mortgage is a type of a loan. Basically, it's a loan that helps you to buy a house.
A house or a property.
Yeah. So this is a funny word. I mean, there's this strange mortgage with a T.
Yeah, it has a T in it, but you don't pronounce it. You say mortgage. Mortgage.
So not mortgage.
Not mortgage.
Mortgage.
Mortgage. Yeah. I had trouble spelling that one for this lesson, so I learned it well now.
Okay. Let's move to our third word today.
Hit me pretty hard.
Hit me pretty hard.
Hit me pretty hard.
Hit. me pretty hard. I think we have some examples that will help us understand this phrase.
Example 1.
My divorce hit me pretty hard. I'm so depressed.
Example 2. This cold has hit me pretty hard. I've been in bed for a week. Example 3.
The news of Fluffy's death hit me pretty hard. I've been crying for days.
Okay, so that's a lot clearer.
Yeah.
Great. Why don't we take a look at our last word for language takeaway?
Tuition.
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 So this is the money you have to pay to your school so that you can study there.
Right. Usually it's in college, right, or university.
Yeah, but sometimes in some countries you have to pay tuition for public school.
Okay, great. So it's time to listen to our dialogue again, and it's going to be slower so we can listen to all the words that we just talked about.
Hello. I'm here to see Mr. Corleone.
Right this way, sir. Charlie, what can I do for you?
Mr. Corleone, I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I need your help.
Anything for you, Charlie. Your father was like a brother to me.
Well, sir, you see, this recession has hit me pretty hard. I lost my job, and I'm in a lot of debt.
I see.
Yeah, you know, I've got credit card bills, car payments. I've got to pay my mortgage, and on top of all that, I have to pay my son's college tuition.
So you're asking for a loan?
Well, I just thought maybe you could help me out.
What? At a time like this? I'm broke too, you know. You're not the only one who has been hit by the recession. I lost half my money in the stock market crash. Go on, get out of here.
Okay, so I think a lot of the key language we just talked about is a lot more clear now. But you know, I also noticed some really interesting phrases in this dialogue.
Yes, I did too. So let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder is a tool that we use to help you sound more native.
Right, so you can sound more natural when you're speaking.
So we take a really common phrase and we show you some great natural ways of expressing that same idea.
Exactly, and today we have 3 of these examples. Let's start with the first one.
So this phrase we use when we want to ask somebody, can I help you?
What can I do for you? What can I do for you?
Yeah, that sounds really, really polite and really natural.
Right, so instead of saying, can I help you, or, I don't know, what do you need? We can just say, what can I do for you?
Exactly.
Great.
So let's move to our second phrase. This phrase we use when we need something, when we want to say, I'm sorry to bother you.
Or, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, let's listen.
I'm really sorry to trouble you. I'm really sorry to trouble you.
I'm sorry to trouble you. This phrase might be a little bit more difficult to understand how it's used, but we've got some examples.
Yes, so let's listen.
Example 1.
Can I trouble you for a moment? I just need you to sign this form for me.
Example 2. I'm sorry to trouble you, but may I go home early today? Example 3.
Can I trouble you for a pen? Mine is not working anymore.
Okay, so now let's take a look at our last phrase for fluency building. On top of all that.
On top of all that.
On top of all that.
This is a really useful phrase. Marco, how would you use it?
Well, for example, today I lost my job.
Oh no.
My car got stolen.
Oh my god.
And on top of all that, my girlfriend broke up with me.
That was a terrible day.
It was. But don't worry, you can use this phrase also in a positive way.
That's true. You could say, so today was a really great day. It was my birthday and all my friends came to visit me, and on top of all that, I got 1,000,000 presents.
That is a great day. So you can use on top of all that in this way.
It's like and also.
And also, yeah.
Yeah, so on top of all that.
So we are ready to listen to our dialogue a third time. We can hear all the words that we just talked about and all the phrases, and you'll definitely be able to understand a lot better now.
Hello, I'm here to see Mr. Corleone. Right this way, sir. Charlie, what can I do for you? Mr. Corleone, I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I need your help. Anything for you, Charlie. Your father was like a brother to me. Well, sir, you see, this recession has hit me pretty hard. I lost my job and I'm in a lot of debt. I see. Yeah, you know, I've got credit card bills, car payments, I've got to pay my mortgage. And on top of all that, I have to pay my son's college tuition. So you're asking for a loan? Well, I just thought maybe you could help me out. What? At a time like this? I'm broke too, you know. You're not the only one who's been hit by the recession. I lost half my money in the stock market crash. Go on, get out of here.
Today's dialogue was all about being in debt, right?
Yes.
And different people have different attitudes or different viewpoints on being in debt.
Yes, that's true. For example, in North America and in Canada, it's a really common thing.
Yeah, it's actually almost good to be in debt.
It's more than good, it's necessary to be in debt.
That's right. Unless you have a history of being in debt and regularly paying off your debts, you can't actually borrow money. You can't get a mortgage. You can't get a car loan so you can buy a new car.
Right, that's called a credit history. So you must have a good credit history in order to be able to, like you say, buy a car or buy a house.
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing is, when I was in university, maybe I was 18 years old, the first thing that happened at university was, banks came to our university and started offering you credit cards. So you can get a credit card when you're 18, no problem.
And not only do they offer you credit cards, they give you like free gifts if you sign up for a credit card.
I know, they really want you to have a credit card.
Of course, they want you to spend more money. That's the trick.
Yeah, but you know what? It's totally different in Europe, for example. I used to live in Switzerland, and they're really careful with debts. Like, it's a bad thing to be in debt.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's bad to be in debt, definitely.
For example, if I want to have a credit card in Switzerland, and let's say I want to have a limit of 500 francs that I can spend every month, I need to put in my bank account 700 francs before I can even spend that credit card money. So it's totally opposite from North America.
Well, yeah, I mean, in North America, it's crazy the way that people are in debt, and it's showing now with the recession, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So everyone be sure to handle your money carefully. Don't be in debt unless you really, really have to.
Good financial advice from English Pod.
English Pod Financial Advising Service.
Okay, everyone, thanks for listening. Now remember, if you have any questions or comments, please visit our website at englishpod.com.
Right, Erica and I are always there to answer all the questions, and we really like to receive comments and suggestions from all our users, so be sure to go and leave us your comments.
Okay, Marco, it's been fun.
Yes, it has, but sadly we have to go now. So until next time, it's
goodbye.
Bye.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to English Pod. My name's Erica, and I'm here with Marco. Marco, hurry up!
I'm coming!
Hurry up, Marco, we've got a lesson.
Okay, I'm here. What did I miss?
The lesson.
All right, sorry about that. We have a great lesson for you today. We have an elementary lesson.
That's right, an elementary lesson about being in a rush and about giving directions when you're in a car.
Exactly.
We're going to listen to two friends who are getting in a car and they're getting ready to go somewhere and they're in a big hurry. So let's hurry up and listen to the dialogue.
Hurry up, get in.
I'm in, let's go.
Okay, make a left here. No, wait, I meant make a right. Come on, speed up.
Jeez, what's the rush?
Don't worry about it, just drive. Oh no, the light is about to change. Step on it.
Are you nuts? I'm not going to run a red light.
Whatever, just turn right here. The freeway will be packed at this hour. Let's take a side street. Go on. Get out of our way. Move! Move!
What's your problem? Jeez, having a fit is not going to help.
Here, I know a shortcut. Just go down here, and we'll cut through Ashburn Heights. Let's go! Let's go! Watch out for that lady.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Yes, we made it. 5:58, just before the library closes.
You're such a geek.
So they were in a hurry, and it was all just to get to the library.
Well, maybe he was late returning a book or something.
That's a bit dramatic just for returning a book.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we look at our language takeaway for today?
Language takeaway.
Okay, on today's language takeaway, we have 5 words for you today, 5 really important and useful words that we found in our dialogue. So let's take a look at the first one. Step on it.
Step on it.
Step on it.
Step on it.
So what does it mean when I tell you to step on it?
Drive faster.
Drive faster, right? Step on it.
Exactly. You might also say speed up.
Speed up, yes.
Speed up.
That's exactly it. Our second word, speed up.
Also means go faster.
Go faster. And what about the opposite?
You might say slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Okay, so speed up and slow down.
So our third word for today is having a fit.
Having a fit.
Having a fit.
Having a fit.
Well, this is a funny phrase, and I think listening to a few examples of this phrase might help us understand its meaning a little bit better.
Example 1.
Geez, you don't need to have a fit. Nothing is going to happen if we're 5 minutes late.
Example 2. My boss is going to have a fit if I don't finish this on time. Example 3.
Oh, I almost had a fit when my boss told me I had to work this weekend.
Okay, great examples. So, Erica, why don't you tell me, what does it mean when you have a fit?
It means you get really angry and you can't control your emotions. So maybe you start screaming and maybe some steam comes out of your ears.
Okay, that's having a fit.
Exactly.
Excellent. Okay, let's take a look at our next word now. Cut through.
Cut through.
Cut through.
Cut through.
When you cut through something, it means you just
Go through.
go through.
Yeah, quite simple. It gives you the idea that you go through something quickly.
Quickly. So I can say, let's cut through the park.
Yep. Or let's cut through the backyard.
Okay, go through.
Mm-hmm.
And this takes us to our last word for today, shortcut.
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 This is a really common word and not many people know about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's two simple words that when you fit them together, the meaning changes. It's a great example of this real English we talk about.
And it means to take a shorter way somewhere.
Exactly. So if I take a shortcut, I go the short way.
Okay, so going back just a little bit to cut through. If I cut through the park, that's basically a shortcut.
Exactly.
All right, now
Okay.
it's clear.
Okay.
Now it's time to listen to our dialogue again, but this time it's going to be slower, so then we can understand all these words that we've just talked about.
Hurry up. Get in.
I'm in. Let's go.
Okay. Make a left here. No, wait. I meant make a right. Come on, speed up.
Geez, what's the rush?
Don't worry about it. Just drive. Oh no, the light is about to change. Step on it.
Are you nuts? I'm not going to run a red light.
Whatever. Just turn right here. The freeway will be packed at this hour. Let's take a side street. Go on. Get out of our way. Move. Move.
What's your problem? Geez, having a fit is not going to help.
Here. I know a shortcut. Just go down here and we'll cut through Ashburn Heights. Let's go. Let's go. Watch out for that lady.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Yes, we made it. 5:58, just before the library closes.
You're such a geek.
Okay, well, I think that was a lot more clear this time. You know, there was some great language in that dialogue, and I would like to look at how we can put it together.
Putting it together.
Okay, so today on Putting It Together, we have 3 phrases for you.
And we're going to show you how you can use these phrases like a native speaker.
Okay, so all of these phrases we heard in the dialogue. Why don't we start with the first one? Make a.
Make a.
So in the dialogue, they say make a left here.
Yeah, and we can extend this phrase to say make a right.
That would be the equivalent of saying turn left.
Or turn right.
Turn right. And there's one more. Make a U-turn.
Exactly. That means turn the car 180 degrees all the way around.
Make a U-turn.
So make a left, make a right, make a U-turn.
If you're ever in a taxi and you're telling the taxi driver where to go, this is the perfect way. Make a left here, make a right there.
Okay, so let's move to our second phrase, and it is, are you nuts?
Are you nuts?
Are you nuts? So this is a great way of saying,
are you crazy?
Are you insane?
Are you mad?
So when would we use a phrase like this?
If somebody has a bad idea that you don't agree with, you would say, are you crazy or are you nuts?
So Marco, let's stop this podcast right now.
Are you nuts?
Okay, I think that's a good example of how we can use this phrase.
Yes.
So are you nuts? Are you insane? Are you mad?
So let's listen to some examples of are you nuts?
Example 1.
You want to get married now? Are you nuts? You only met her 3 weeks ago.
Example 2. Are you nuts? I'm not going to cheat on the exam. What if I get caught?
So I think that's clear. And now we can move to our third phrase, which is, Let's take a side street.
Let's take a side street.
Let's take a side street.
Again, so if you're in a taxi, this is a great way to suggest a route.
Or suggest a direction.
Right.
So we can take this phrase and extend it out with a few more words. We might say, let's take Wilson Avenue.
Right, or let's take the highway.
So let's take a side street. Let's take Wilson Avenue. Let's take the freeway.
Okay, so now let's take a listen to this dialogue a third time at its normal speed, and now you can understand everything that's in this dialogue.
Hurry up, get in.
I'm in, let's go.
Okay, make a left here. No, wait, I meant make a right. Come on, speed up.
Jeez, what's the rush?
Don't worry about it, just drive. Oh no, the light is about to change. Step on it.
Are you nuts? I'm not going to run a red light.
Whatever, just turn right here. The freeway will be packed at this hour. Let's take a side street. Go on, get out of our way. Move, move.
What's your problem? Jeez, having a fit is not going to help.
Here, I know a shortcut. Just go down here, and we'll cut through Ashburn Heights. Let's go, let's go. Watch out for that lady.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Yes, we made it. 5:58, just before the library closes.
You're such a geek.
Well, this dialogue is all about driving, right?
Yes.
And in North America, where both of us are from, driving is everything.
Everybody has a car.
When did you get a car?
My car I got when I was like maybe 19.
Really?
But I learned how to drive and I was driving already by the age of 16.
Yeah, that's the thing. In many countries, you have to wait till I think you're 18 to drive. But in North America, everyone has a driver's license by the time they're 16 years old.
Yeah. I guess everything is so far away that you need a car.
Yeah, it's a lot less likely to have subways or trains to travel by in North America.
All right, so now you have all the tools necessary to give directions the next time you're in a car or in a taxi.
Well, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. Now, I want to remind you all to come to our English Pod website at englishpod.com, and here you'll find a lot of tools to help you understand our podcasts better. So with that, until next time, this is goodbye.
Bye. Hello, English learners, and welcome back to another episode of English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today, with Erica, we are getting married.
Well, we're not getting married.
We're not, but our actors in the podcast are.
That's right. So we've got a lesson today about weddings. And you know what? A lot of the language in this lesson is about weddings and marriages. And maybe you don't need to use this language every day, but
learning this vocabulary will definitely help you understand or learn a lot more about Anglo culture.
Okay, great point, Marco. I think now we can look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
So 2 simple words in this vocabulary preview. The first one is groom.
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 So who is the groom?
Is the man that's getting married.
Okay, and our second word is
bride.
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 And obviously the bride is
the woman getting married.
Perfect. Now we have our bride and our groom, so it's time to listen to our dialogue the first time.
I can't believe that Anthony is finally getting married.
Yeah, well, it's about time. He's been living with his parents for 40 years.
Don't be mean. Look, here come the bridesmaids. Oh, their dresses look beautiful.
Who are those kids walking down the aisle?
That's the flower girl and the ring bearer. I'm pretty sure that they're the groom's niece and nephew. Oh, they look so cute.
I just hope the priest makes it quick. I'm starving. I hope the food's good at the reception.
That's all you ever think about. Food. Oh, I think the bride's coming now. Oh, she looks gorgeous. Wait, what's she doing? Where is she going?
Oh, great. Does this mean that the reception is canceled?
Oh, Marco, that's so sad.
Yeah, I know. The reception is canceled.
Marco, they're not getting married.
Oh, well, I mean, the best part is when you go and eat and drink at the reception.
Okay. Well, there's some great language in this dialogue. And now, let's look at our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Great. Our first word on the language takeaway today is it's about time.
It's about time.
It's about time.
It's about time.
So now we are going to listen to some examples on how we use this great phrase.
Example 1.
Dinner's ready.
It's about time. I'm starving.
Example 2.
Guess what? I finally got a job.
It's about time. You've been unemployed for 2 years.
Example 3.
We're almost there. Just a couple more minutes.
It's about time. We've been driving for 12 hours.
So this phrase means finally.
Finally, at last.
We've been waiting a long time for this.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's about time.
Great. Let's take a look at our second word now. Aisle.
Aisle.
A-I-S-L-E.
Aisle.
Aisle. It's a tricky word. It sounds like the contraction of I will.
Yeah, but it's spelled so strangely.
Right. We don't pronounce the S. The S is silent.
That's true.
Aisle.
So what is an aisle?
In a big room where you have a lot of chairs, that space in the middle that allows people to walk through, that's the aisle.
So the aisle is the part where you walk.
Yes.
In a big room.
In a big room.
With many chairs.
With many chairs.
Okay.
So, in the church,
the bride and groom
walk down the aisle.
Exactly.
Great.
Let's move to our third word.
Bridesmaid.
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 So who are the bridesmaids? Or wait, maybe you should ask me that.
Yeah, because we don't get bridesmaids.
Okay, so the bridesmaids are the women who are friends of the bride who stand next to her when she's getting married. Usually they're her best friends.
Right, okay. Okay, so we have our bridesmaids. Now we have our flower girl.
Flower girl.
Flower girl.
Again, I'll explain this one.
Please.
The flower girl is that cute little girl who walks down the aisle and who throws flowers.
That's the flower girl. And with the flower girl, we have our ring bearer.
Ring bearer.
Ring bearer.
So the ring bearer is the cute little boy who walks down the aisle carrying the
rings.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of useful vocabulary for a wedding ceremony.
That's true.
Now let's look at our last word. Gorgeous.
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 Gorgeous means beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful you can only use with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Can you use gorgeous with a woman or with a man?
Yes, gorgeous is unisex.
So both men and women are gorgeous.
Right, you can say, oh, that girl is gorgeous.
That guy is gorgeous.
Right? Or you can say even, this house is gorgeous.
Okay, so men, women, objects.
Yes.
All right, well, we've learned some really interesting vocabulary that will help us to understand an Anglo wedding. So why don't we listen to the dialogue slowed down?
I can't believe that Anthony is finally getting married.
Yeah, well, it's about time. He's been living with his parents for 40 years.
Don't be mean. Look, here come the bridesmaids. Their dresses look beautiful.
Who are those kids walking down the aisle?
That's the flower girl and the ring bearer. I'm pretty sure they're the groom's niece and nephew. Oh, they look so cute.
I just hope the priest makes it quick. I'm starving. I hope the food's good at the reception.
That's all you ever think about. Food. Oh, I think the bride's coming now. She looks gorgeous. Wait, what's she doing? Where's she going?
Oh, great. Does this mean that the reception is canceled?
Now in this dialogue, we have a word that many students often make mistakes on.
So this is a word that causes a lot of problems.
Yes, the word marry.
Marry.
Marry, right? So we are going to listen now to some common mistakes on how English learners use this word.
Right, so these are wrong examples.
Example 1.
Honey, let's marry.
Example 2.
We married 4 years ago.
Example 3.
When I marry, I want a huge wedding.
These are great examples of mistakes students make with the word marry. They're missing a word. Let's listen to these right examples to see what word is missing.
Example 1.
Honey, let's get married.
Example 2.
We got married 4 years ago.
Example 3.
When I get married, I want a huge wedding.
Great, so we can see that when we use the word marry, we say to get married.
Exactly right. Get married.
To get married, right?
Okay, don't forget that.
Yes. Get married. I will get married.
We got married.
Right. So now you know exactly how to use this word. We are ready to listen to our dialogue again for a third time. And this time it's going to be at a normal speed.
I can't believe that Anthony is finally getting married.
Yeah, well, it's about time. He's been living with his parents for 40 years.
Don't be mean. Look, here come the bridesmaids. Oh, their dresses look beautiful.
Who are those kids walking down the aisle?
That's the flower girl and the ring bearer. I'm pretty sure that they're the groom's niece and nephew. Oh, they look so cute.
I just hope the priest makes it quick. I'm starving. I hope the food's good at the reception.
That's all you ever think about. Food. Oh, I think the bride's coming now. Oh, she looks gorgeous. Wait, what's she doing? Where's she going?
Oh, great. Does this mean that the reception is canceled?
Okay, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know too much about marriages because, first of all, I'm not married and I've never really been to many marriages. So, Erica, some questions for you.
Okay.
What do these bridesmaids do? I mean, what are they about?
What do the bridesmaids do?
Yeah, what are they doing there?
Well, like I said earlier, the bridesmaids are the friends of the bride. But the most important people, besides the bride and groom, are the best man and the maid of honor.
Okay, and what do they do there in the ceremony?
Well, what they do is they sign the marriage license.
Okay, so they're like witnesses.
Exactly.
Okay, so, but wait a minute. They sign the marriage license there in the church?
Yeah, of course. Right inside the church, you sign the marriage license.
Oh, that's strange, because from what I know, in other countries, usually you will sign the marriage license before the ceremony.
So you get married twice.
Yeah, you have like the civil marriage and then you have like the church wedding or whatever.
That's so complicated.
Well, yeah, I mean, the church wedding is just a ceremony. It's not really anything official.
Oh, in Canada, it's the official part as well.
I guess maybe you're just more efficient.
Maybe. Well, this is a really fascinating, a really interesting subject, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's so many countries that have different marriage ceremonies. I know that marriages in India last around 7 days.
Yeah. I want to know more about how our users get married in their country.
Yeah, so please go to our website at englishpod.com and tell us how you get married in your countries.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear your stories.
Yeah, it should be interesting, right?
Okay, well, everyone, thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name's Erica.
And I'm Marco.
So Marco, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm really looking forward to our lesson because we're going to the eye doctor today.
Okay, so we've got an elementary lesson about going to the eye doctor.
Yes.
Well, let's get started then with our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
We have 3 words today in our vocabulary preview. All 3 words come from our dialogue. Our first word is struggle.
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 So Marco, when I struggle to do something, what does that mean?
It means it's difficult. It means that you have a hard time, so you can't really do it very quickly.
So you have to try really hard.
You have to try really hard.
Yeah, to do something that's difficult.
Yes.
Okay, our next word is
blurry.
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 Blurry. B-L-U-R-R-Y.
Blurry. Whenever something is blurry, you can't really see it well.
It's not clear.
Right.
That's right. Everything will be blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and our final word is
prescription.
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 Often when you go to the doctor and you need some medicine, he writes out a prescription.
Right. A little paper that says all the medicine that you need, and then you can go to the drugstore and buy it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those 3 words you'll hear in today's dialogue, and I think it's time we listen to the dialogue.
Hello, Arthur. What seems to be the problem?
Hey, Doc. Well, I think I might need glasses. I'm getting headaches, and I really struggle to see things that are far away. But I've always had 20/20 vision.
Sounds like you might be farsighted. Okay, then, cover your left eye and read the chart in front of you.
X, E, R, 3, question mark, and I can't quite make out the other symbol, but I think it's the peace sign.
Wow, Arthur, you're as blind as a bat.
Yeah, I know. My vision is really blurry at times.
Okay, then. Head over to the other room and pick out some frames while I fill out your prescription.
Thanks, Doc.
Arthur, that's the bathroom.
Well, this guy really has poor vision, hey? Well, actually, you know what? I've walked into the bathroom, the men's bathroom, actually, instead of the women's bathroom, and that's not because I wasn't wearing my glasses.
It's because you weren't paying attention.
That's true.
Okay, let's take a look today at our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
The first word on our language takeaway for today is 20/20 vision.
20/20 vision.
20/20 vision.
If I have 20/20 vision,
it means that you have perfect vision.
Which I do not have.
No, me neither. So I usually wear glasses as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, people that have 20/20 vision don't need glasses. They can see clearly.
And perfectly.
And perfectly.
Yeah. Next word is far-sighted.
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 So if I'm far-sighted, I can't see very well, right?
So if you're far-sighted, you can see things that are near.
So you can see things that are far away.
Right.
But things that are close are blurry. Okay.
And the opposite would be?
Nearsighted.
And which is?
You can see things that are close well.
But not far.
Yeah. Okay.
Far-sighted and nearsighted.
Okay, so our next word is make out.
Make out.
Make out.
Make out.
Make out. That's kind of a funny little phrase. And let's listen to a few examples of this phrase so we can understand how it's used.
Example 1.
I can't make out what this says. The writing is too small.
Example 2.
If you look carefully, you can almost make out a few of the stars in the sky.
Example 3.
Can you see what's written on the sign there?
No, I can't quite make it out.
Okay, so basically make out is to see clearly.
Exactly.
Make out.
To see.
Okay, and our last word for language takeaway today is blind as a bat.
Blind as a bat.
Blind as a bat.
So this is a really funny sounding expression, one of these weird English idioms.
Yeah, it's a really common expression that just means that you can't see.
Exactly. So it's not like you actually are blind, right?
But you just really can't see very well.
Okay. All right, we saw 4 great words today in our language takeaway. Now I think we can listen to our dialogue another time.
But this time it's gonna be slower so we can pick up all these great words that we just talked about.
Hello, Arthur. What seems to be the problem?
Hey, Doc. Well, I think I might need glasses. I'm getting headaches, and I really struggle to see things that are far away. But I've always had 20/20 vision.
Sounds like you may be farsighted. Okay, then. Cover your left eye and read the chart in front of you.
X, E, R, 3, question mark, and I can't quite make out the other symbol, but I think it's a peace sign.
Wow. Arthur, you're as blind as a bat.
Yeah, I know. My vision is really blurry at times.
Okay, then. Head on over to the other room and pick out some frames while I fill out your prescription.
Thanks, Doc.
Arthur, that's the bathroom.
All right, great stuff on our dialogue. And with this, we can start now with putting it together.
Putting it together.
So we saw a couple useful phrases in this dialogue, and I think we can show you how to use these phrases in a few different ways.
Right. The first one that we have today is what seems to be.
So we heard in the dialogue, the doctor said,
what seems to be the problem?
We can use this same expression in a number of different ways. Let's listen.
Example 1.
What seems to be the problem?
Example 2.
What seems to be the matter?
Example 3.
What seems to be the trouble?
Okay, so with these examples, we can see how we can use the phrase, what seems to be, in many different ways.
Yeah, it's a great way of asking, what's the problem?
So now let's take a look at another phrase.
We heard in the dialogue, the doctor said, head on over to the other room.
Right. And with this phrase, head on, we can combine it with other prepositions to indicate another place.
Exactly. Let's hear 3 examples.
Example 1.
Head on in.
Example 2.
Head on out.
Example 3.
Head on up.
Okay, so for example, we can say, head on into the house. It's gonna rain soon.
Or we can say, hey guys, let's head on out to the park.
Or I can also say, head on up to my room. I'll be there in a second.
Great. Those are some cool phrases.
Right, and they're really useful.
So why don't we listen to our dialogue and maybe we'll hear them again.
Hello, Arthur. What seems to be the problem?
Hey, Doc. Well, I think I might need glasses. I'm getting headaches, and I really struggle to see things that are far away. But I've always had 20/20 vision.
Sounds like you might be farsighted. Okay, then, cover your left eye and read the chart in front of you.
X, E, R, 3, question mark, and I can't quite make out the other symbol, but I think it's the peace sign.
Wow, Arthur, you're as blind as a bat.
Yeah, I know. My vision is really blurry at times.
Okay, then. Head over to the other room and pick out some frames while I fill out your prescription.
Thanks, Doc.
Arthur, that's the bathroom.
Okay, so talking about going to the eye doctor today, I have a question for our listeners.
A challenge for the listeners.
What's it called when you can't distinguish colors?
So like when you can't tell the difference between red and blue and green.
Right. So what is that condition called? So
there's like a technical term. We want the technical term.
We want the technical term. So we'll be looking for it on our comments page, and be sure to, if you know the answer, post it.
At englishpod.com. Also, if you have questions about today's lesson or any other lesson, please come and visit our website and ask us.
Yeah, we hope to see you there, but until then, it's
goodbye.
Hello, English learners. Welcome to another great lesson with English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
So, Erica, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. And I think we've got a good lesson today, a really helpful lesson.
What are we talking about today?
We have an elementary lesson about making an appointment.
All right, making an appointment. Yeah, that's really helpful. I guess you have to make appointments for the doctor or
at work,
at
maybe,
work,
or with your
personal.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is language that you can use every day to make appointments.
Great. Well, so why don't we take a look at our vocabulary preview?
Vocabulary preview.
We only have one word today, which you need to know to understand this dialogue, and it is financial advisor.
Financial advisor.
Financial advisor.
So, what is a financial advisor?
A financial advisor is a person who gives suggestions or recommendations about investing money. Someone who wants you to put money in the stock market.
Okay, great. I guess we're ready now to listen to our dialogue for the first time. And as always, it's going to be at a normal speed, but you don't have to worry about it because
we'll come back and teach you all the important words.
Hello, Fairbrook Consulting. How may I help you?
Yes, this is Julianne Horton, and I'm calling to arrange an appointment with Miss McNeely.
Certainly. What day were you thinking of?
How's Thursday? Does she have any time available then?
Let me double check. Unfortunately, she's booked solid on Thursday. How does next Monday work for you?
Actually, I've got something scheduled on Monday. Can she do Tuesday?
Sure, Tuesday's perfect. May I ask where you're calling from?
Sure, Merton Financial Advisors.
Oh. Actually, Tuesday's no good. Sorry about that.
Well, I guess Ms. McNeely does not want to speak to any financial advisors.
yeah, I guess she doesn't really want to invest in the stock market, huh?
Or maybe she just gets too many phone calls from them.
Yeah. If you have money, I guess you'll get phone calls from people like that.
I guess we don't have that problem, hey?
No, we don't. Okay, let's start with our language takeaway for today.
Language takeaway.
So 4 words today. The first one is available.
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 Meaning
that you are not busy.
That you're free.
You're free. You're not busy.
Exactly. Let's move to our next word. Double check.
Double check.
Double check.
Double check.
I think we've got some examples of this phrase.
Example 1.
Do you have the tickets?
I think so, but let me just double check.
Example 2.
I thought I sent that email already, but let me double check.
Okay, so double check basically means to check something twice.
Exactly, to check it again.
Check it again. Okay. Our third word for language takeaway today is scheduled.
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 S-C-H-E-D-U-L-E-D.
Scheduled.
Scheduled. So when you have something scheduled, it means that you have something
planned.
Planned, right?
Yeah, or booked at that time.
Booked at that time.
Yeah, we've got a lunch scheduled this afternoon, don't we?
Yes, we do.
All right.
A great lunch. I'm looking forward to it. And our last word for today is Booked solid.
Booked solid.
Booked solid.
B-O-O-K-E-D. Booked solid.
So we have some great examples on how you can use this great phrase, booked solid, and you can understand what it means.
Example 1.
I can't get a hotel room. They're booked solid until after the new year.
Example 2.
I'm sorry, there are no seats available on this flight. We booked solid over the Christmas holidays.
Example 3.
Sorry, I can't meet with you today. I'm booked solid.
Okay, great. So booked solid basically is?
You have no free time, no available time.
Right.
So you've got appointments scheduled all day.
All day, great. So with this in mind, now we can listen to our dialogue a second time. This time it's going to be slow so we can
understand a little bit better.
Hello? Fairbrick Consulting. How may I help you?
Yes, this is Julianne Horton, and I'm calling to arrange an appointment with Ms. McNeely.
Certainly. What date were you thinking of?
How's Thursday? Does she have any time available then?
Let me double check. No. Unfortunately, she's booked solid on Thursday. How does next Monday work for you?
Actually, I've got something scheduled on Monday. Can she do Tuesday?
Sure. Tuesday's perfect. May I ask where you're calling from?
Sure. Merton Financial Advisors.
Oh. Actually, Tuesday's no good. Sorry about that.
Okay, so now it's a little bit more clear, and with this, we can start with putting it together.
Putting it together.
There's some great examples in this dialogue of phrases you can use when you need to schedule an appointment. And we're going to look at those today. In the dialogue, we heard Julianne ask about making an appointment, and she said this.
I'm calling to arrange an appointment with Ms. McNeely. I'm calling to arrange an appointment with Ms. McNeely.
So this is a great way to schedule an appointment, to ask for some time from somebody else.
Yeah, and we have some more examples of this phrase.
Example 1.
Please book an appointment for next week.
Example 2.
Please schedule an appointment for next week.
Great. So after that, when you're scheduling an appointment, you need to suggest a day when maybe that person has time.
Yes, let's listen to what they said in the dialogue.
How's Thursday? Does she have any time available then? How's Thursday? Does she have any time available then?
You say, well, how's Thursday or how's Tuesday? And maybe that person doesn't have time that day, so they'll say something like this.
Can she do Tuesday? Can she do Tuesday?
Okay, Erica, so if I want to have a meeting with you, I would say, how's Monday sound? Or how's Monday?
Monday's no good. I'm busy all day.
How's Tuesday?
Sorry, Tuesday's no good either.
What about Wednesday?
Okay, Wednesday works.
All right, great.
Wednesday's perfect.
Okay, it's great. So we have a meeting on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, those are some great phrases, hey, for scheduling an appointment.
Yeah, they're really good. Okay, so now we can listen to our dialogue a third time and we're ready to understand everything that we've just talked about.
Hello? Fairbrick Consulting. How may I help you?
Yes, this is Julianne Horton, and I'm calling to arrange an appointment with Miss McNeely.
Certainly. What day were you thinking of?
How's Thursday? Does she have any time available then?
Let me double check. Unfortunately, she's booked solid on Thursday. How does next Monday work for you?
Actually, I've got something scheduled on Monday. Can she do Tuesday?
Sure, Tuesday's perfect. May I ask where you're calling from?
Sure, Merton Financial Advisors.
Oh.
Actually, Tuesday's no good. Sorry about that.
Có xài cho bé nha chị.
The language in this dialogue is really useful, isn't it, Marco?
Yeah, it's from an everyday
có xài cho
situation.
bé
You
à?
always have to make appointments at some point.
Yes, and like we said earlier, it's language you can use when you need to talk about work with your boss, maybe.
Right.
Or when you need to do daily things like go to the doctor, or even when you're planning something with your friends.
Right.
Yeah, you can use this in all those
In
situations.
all situations.
Uh-huh.
Great. Well, we're out of time now, but I hope you enjoyed our lesson and found it useful. And if you have any questions or comments, please go to our website at englishpod.com, where we'll be there to answer everything.
Yes, we will. So thanks for listening, guys, and until next time, goodbye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another great lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going out to eat.
Yes, good thing too, because I'm hungry.
I know, it's almost lunchtime.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about eating at a restaurant and giving some great recommendations and suggestions.
Yes, we have language for describing food, or describing restaurants, and for making suggestions.
Great, so let's start with our vocabulary preview for this lesson.
Vocabulary preview.
We have 2 words today from our dialogue, which you'll need to know to understand the dialogue.
Great. The first one that we have today is food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
Food poisoning.
So food poisoning is
not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
It is when you eat some bad food and that food makes you sick. So
Yeah.
you get food poisoning.
Okay, so food poisoning, yeah, not a good thing.
Okay, the next word.
Allergic.
Dạ, shop sẽ lấy thoải mái cho bé à.
Allergic.
Quần lưng không bị mưa.
Allergic.
So when you're allergic to something,
It makes you sick. That one thing makes you sick.
right,
For example, I'm allergic to seafood.
right.
If I eat seafood, I cannot breathe.
Oh, okay, so you definitely want to stay away from fish.
Yes, yes.
Some people are allergic to nuts, like peanuts.
Or maybe milk.
Milk.
Yep.
Cool.
So when one type of food makes you sick, you are allergic to that food.
Okay, great. So with this in mind, now we can listen to our dialogue for the first time at its normal speed. But don't worry if you don't get everything now, because
We'll come back and teach you the important language.
Do you two have any plans for the evening? We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. Do you have any suggestions? I know this really nice Italian place. The food is fantastic and the decor is beautiful. I'd recommend giving it a try.
Actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food. I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
In that case, I know a great little bistro. They make a really tasty seafood platter. The fish is outstanding. It sounds fantastic, but I'm allergic to seafood, so... Okay, well, let me think. Oh, I know this great little place. It's just a hole in the wall, but they do the most amazing sandwiches. You've got to give them a try.
Ella, you took me there last time I visited, and I got food poisoning, remember?
Well, I'm getting hungry just thinking about all of those great restaurants.
yeah, some really good recommendations, except
Uh-huh.
for food poisoning, right?
No, not so good.
Let's start with our language takeaway for this lesson.
Language takeaway.
Our first word on language takeaway is check out.
Check out.
Check out.
Check out.
So we have some great examples on how we can use check out in different situations, and then you can understand the meaning.
Example 1.
Have you been to the new cafe next door?
Yeah, I checked it out yesterday. The food was great.
Example 2.
Hey, check out my new car.
Example 3.
I'm going to check out that new shopping mall this weekend.
So I can understand that it just means look at.
Yeah, look at. Or go see. So let's go check out that new bar in town.
Yeah, okay, cool. Next word is Bistro.
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 So what's a bistro?
It's kind of complicated, but it's like a small restaurant that's not really cheap though.
Not so cheap, but not so expensive.
And it's usually French.
Yes.
So
Yeah, small informal restaurant.
Bistro. Okay, so our third phrase for today is not all that crazy about.
Not all that crazy about.
I'm not all that crazy about.
Okay, again, kind of a funny phrase, but we've got some examples that will help you understand the meaning.
Example 1.
Do you want to go shopping with me tomorrow?
I'm not all that crazy about shopping. I don't like spending money.
Example 2.
I'm not crazy about jazz music. Can I change the song?
So this is just a really polite way of saying you don't like something.
Exactly.
But now the opposite of this would be tasty.
Tasty.
That's our fourth word, tasty.
Tasty.
So when something is tasty,
It's good.
it's good.
Like delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah. You know what? In English, we almost never say the food is delicious, but we always say,
It's really tasty.
Yes.
This is really tasty.
yes, okay.
Tasty. And our last phrase for language takeaway, in the mood for.
In the mood for.
In the mood for.
Let's listen to some examples of this phrase and we'll understand the meaning a little bit better.
Example 1.
We always eat hamburgers for dinner. I'm in the mood for something different.
Example 2.
Let's watch a movie. How about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I am not in the mood for a horror movie.
So if I'm in the mood for something, I feel like doing or eating or
Watching.
Watching.
Yeah, it means you want to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for.
Okay. Some great language we just looked at, and I think it's time for us to listen to the dialogue a second time.
Do you two have any plans for the evening? We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. Do you have any suggestions? I know this really nice Italian place. The food is fantastic and the decor is beautiful. I'd recommend giving it a try.
Actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food. I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
In that case, I know a great little bistro. They make a really tasty seafood platter. The fish is outstanding. It sounds fantastic, but I'm allergic to seafood, so... Okay, well, let me think. Oh, I know this great little place. It's just a hole in the wall, but they do the most amazing sandwiches. You've got to give them a try.
Ella, you took me there last time I visited, and I got food poisoning, remember?
Okay, some really great and useful phrases there, and I know you want to talk about specifically some of these phrases.
Yes, today's lesson is all about making recommendations, right?
Right.
So let's look at some useful phrases in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So in the dialogue, we heard a great way of asking for a suggestion.
That's right.
Let's listen.
Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any suggestions?
So that's how you would ask for a suggestion. Or you can say something else like, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, or you might say, do you have any thoughts?
Okay, so
Three
that's
great ways.
asking for a suggestion.
Yep.
In response to this, you can say something like this.
I'd recommend giving it a try. I'd recommend giving it a try.
We also heard another phrase that we use for giving suggestions.
You've got to give them a try. You've got to give them a try.
So these two phrases are great. I'd recommend or you gotta give them a try.
Yeah.
Great ways of suggesting.
Yes.
Now, What's really important here is the pronunciation of these words, right?
Yeah, you'll notice that we don't say I would recommend.
Right. We use the contraction I'd.
I'd recommend.
I'd recommend.
Similarly, in the phrase you have got to, we shorten that to say
you gotta.
You gotta.
You gotta give them a try.
You gotta.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, guys? If you can shorten your phrases like this, if you can push the sounds together, you'll sound a lot more natural, hey?
And also you'll be able to understand because in movies or in shows, they will never say, you have got to give them a try.
Yeah.
So if you know how to use this form, you'll understand what they mean.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Well, why don't we listen to the dialogue a third time and you'll hear some of these contractions in the dialogue.
Do you two have any plans for the evening? We were thinking of checking out a restaurant in the neighborhood. Do you have any suggestions? I know this really nice Italian place. The food is fantastic and the decor is beautiful. I'd recommend giving it a try.
Actually, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food. I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
In that case, I know a great little bistro. They make a really tasty seafood platter. The fish is outstanding. It sounds fantastic, but I'm allergic to seafood, so... Okay, well, let me think. Oh, I know this great little place. It's just a hole in the wall, but they do the most amazing sandwiches. You could give them a try.
Ella, you took me there last time I visited, and I got food poisoning, remember?
Okay, great dialogue. And Erica, I know that you have some food poisoning stories for us.
I don't know about stories, but I've definitely had food poisoning before. One of the worst times that I ever had food poisoning was when I was traveling in Morocco.
Okay.
I had some really amazing orange juice, really fresh, squeezed that day in the morning. And then I got on a bus.
Okay.
I think you can see where this is going. Yeah, so I was on the bus and then I started to feel really sick. And I was just hoping that the bus ride would be over soon.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it wasn't.
Oh no.
All I can say is that I was sick, and all I can say is that I was pretty sick and really, really unhappy.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's very strange that you got sick from orange juice, huh?
Well, yeah, maybe it was with some dirty water or something like that. I don't know. It was a terrible situation.
Yeah, it's always complicated when you're traveling to other countries. It could be the water, it could be the way they prepare things. So
yeah.
Food poisoning.
Guys, I hope that you don't get food poisoning.
And if you have any food poisoning stories, it would be great for you to share them.
Yes, at our website, englishpod.com.
And we'll see you there to answer all your questions and comments, but now we have to go.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening.
We'll see you there.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello everyone and welcome to English Pod. Happy New Year. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Marco.
It's December 31st and we are on New Year's Eve.
That's right, and since it's New Year's Eve, we're talking about New Year's resolutions.
Right, in many places it's very common to make a promise for the new year, something that you will change.
A promise to yourself.
To yourself.
To change something.
And that's what our dialogue is about today, so why don't we take a look at our vocabulary preview for this lesson.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, on vocabulary preview today, we only have one word.
Eating habits.
Eating habits.
Eating habits.
So what are eating habits?
The regular way you eat.
Right.
So if you eat healthy or if you eat lots of unhealthy food.
Or even maybe what time you eat, right? If you eat every day a certain time.
Yeah.
Eating habits.
Okay.
So we're ready to listen to our dialogue today. And it's going to be a little bit fast, but don't worry about it.
We'll come back and explain all of the key vocabulary after.
So, did I tell you about my New Year's resolution? I've decided to go on a diet.
And you're going to completely transform your eating habits, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna cut out all the junk I eat. No more chips, no more soda, no more fried food.
I've heard this one before.
But this time, I'm going to stick to it. I really mean it. Trust me, Carol, I'm gonna be a new man in 1 year's time.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Thanks, honey. That was a great meal. I'm stuffed. Do we have any chips left?
So Marco, do you think this guy will be successful in changing his eating habits?
Well, I guess he'll never change, but this gives us a great opportunity to look at some great vocabulary in this lesson in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Our first word on language takeaway is junk.
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 So, junk comes from junk food.
Exactly.
Unhealthy food.
Yeah. Fries, chips.
Hamburgers.
Yeah.
All that junk.
All that junk.
Okay, our second word for language takeaway, transform.
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 Meaning?
To change.
Yep.
Change.
So this guy is going to transform his eating habits.
He's going to change his eating habits.
Yeah. Our third word is?
Stuffed.
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 I'm stuffed.
So we have some great examples on how we can use stuffed, and you'll get the meaning from it.
Example 1.
Come on, have one more piece of cake.
Oh, I can't. I'm stuffed.
Example 2.
Oh, I ate way too much. I'm stuffed.
Okay, I'm stuffed.
The feeling you get if you eat too much food.
Right, I'm full.
Yeah.
All right. So these are some great words that you can use talking about food.
And eating habits.
And eating habits. And now we can listen to our dialogue a second time. And this time, like always, it's going to be slow.
So, did I tell you about my New Year's resolution? I've decided to go on a diet.
And you're going to completely transform your eating habits, right?
Exactly. I'm going to cut out all that junk I eat. No more chips. No more soda. No more fried food.
I've heard this one before.
But this time I'm going to stick to it. I really mean it. Trust me, Carol, I'm going to be a new man in 1 year's time.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Thanks, honey. That was a great meal. I'm stuffed. Do we have any chips left?
There's a lot of great language in this dialogue, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of great language that we can take a look at with our Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
The first phrase we have for you is...
Stick to it.
Stick to it.
Stick to it.
Yes, we've got some examples of how this phrase is used, so let's listen.
Example 1.
Quitting smoking is so hard.
Stick to it. It's good for you.
Example 2.
I can't solve this math problem.
Stick to it. I'm sure you'll get it.
So stick to it, right?
Basically means keep doing it.
Right. Even though English learning can be hard,
you should stick to it.
Stick to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's look at our second phrase for Fluency Builder. I mean it.
Mean it.
Mean it. So this is a great way of saying
I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I mean it.
I'm not joking.
I'm not joking, right?
Yeah. And our final phrase in Fluency Builder.
Cut out.
Cut out.
Cut out.
Again, we've got some examples of this phrase as native speakers use it. Let's listen.
Example 1.
You have to cut out the salt from your diet. No more chips, no more French fries, no more popcorn.
Example 2.
It's time for me to focus on my work. I'm going to cut out everything else from my life.
Okay, so cut out means
to remove.
Completely remove.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Yeah.
Okay, some great language, some great phrases in our dialogue today. So why don't we listen to it a third time and we'll come back in a little bit.
So, did I tell you about my New Year's resolution? I've decided to go on a diet.
And you're going to completely transform your eating habits, right?
Exactly. I'm gonna cut out all the junk I eat. No more chips, no more soda, no more fried food.
Uh-huh. I've heard this one before.
But this time, I'm going to stick to it. I really mean it. Trust me, Carol, I'm gonna be a new man in 1 year's time.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Dạ ăn mềm lắm chị nha, chị được kiểm tra lần
Thanks,
trước
honey.
chị.
That was a great meal. I'm stuffed. Do we have any chips left?
Okay, so New Year's resolutions, a really common and popular thing in North America.
It's tradition to make a promise to yourself on New Year's and stick to it throughout the whole year.
Right, but the funny thing is that very few people actually stick to their New Year's resolution.
That's true.
The most common ones are, I'm gonna quit smoking.
Yeah?
That never happens.
No.
I'm gonna go on a diet.
Like this guy.
I'm gonna quit drinking.
Uh-huh.
That almost never happens either. On New Year's Eve, you start
I mean,
drinking.
it's a bad time. Come on.
And another really common one is, I'm going to join a gym.
That's why gym membership sales are so high in January.
Right, everyone joins a gym in January, but
Come February.
Yeah, very few people in the gym.
Yeah. So Marco, do you have a New Year's resolution for this year?
Yes, I have a New Year's resolution, and I resolve to continue bringing everyone some great lessons.
Oh, that's so good.
And I think I can stick to that one.
Yes, well, I do hope that you do stick to that one, Marco.
We will. But today we're out of time, so please go to our website and leave all your questions and comments.
At EnglishPod.com.
And we'll see you there. But until then, it's
goodbye.
Bye. Hello everyone, welcome to English Pod. Today I'm here with Erica.
Hi Marco.
And I'm Marco. And we're bringing you a great elementary lesson about a situation at an office.
That's true. Today we're going to learn some phrases for asking for time off.
Right, asking for time off.
Or asking for leave.
Asking for leave,
yeah.
Right, so we're going to give you some great phrases and vocabulary for when you want to ask for leave. So let's just listen to our dialogue today. We're at an office where Liv wants some time off.
Mr. McKenna, do you have a second? I need to talk to you about something.
Sure, Liv, what can I do for you?
Well, I was just wondering, you see, I know I've used up all my vacation days this year, but my sister's getting married and the wedding is overseas and, well...
You want to take some time off, is that right?
Well, sir, I was just hoping I might be able to take some unpaid leave this year.
What dates are you planning on taking off? I'll need at least 2 months' notice so that I can plan for your absence.
I was thinking of taking off from September 1st until the 30th. Would you be okay with that?
Well, I guess so.
Well, it sounds like the boss wasn't too happy about Liv's request.
Well, she wanted to take off for 30 days, so
I guess that is a long time.
that is a long time. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have some great words for you today, so let's start with our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
4 words on our language takeaway today. Erica, why don't you tell us the first one?
The first word is vacation days.
Vacation days.
Vacation days.
So what are vacation days?
Basically, it's the number of personal leave days. So the number of days that you can take to go on vacation.
Mm-hmm. How many vacation days do you have?
Yeah, I think I have not so many. I only have 10 vacation days.
10 vacation. Well, in some countries, there 10 vacation days is normal. In other, I guess it's 10, 15, even 20, I've heard.
Yeah. Well,
vacation days.
We can't take too many vacation days or else we won't make any more podcasts.
I know. Why don't we look at our second word? Overseas.
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 When you travel overseas, you travel over the ocean.
Over the ocean to another country.
Exactly.
Okay, overseas. Okay, and our third word for language takeaway, unpaid leave.
Unpaid leave.
Unpaid leave.
So this is time off without pay.
Without pay.
Simple.
Right, unpaid leave. And our last word, notice.
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 So we have some great examples on how we use notice, and from these examples, I'm sure you'll be able to understand exactly what they mean.
Example 1.
If you want to quit your job, make sure you give enough notice. You'll need to tell us 4 weeks in advance.
Example 2.
You didn't give me enough notice about this project. I didn't have enough time to finish it.
So when you give someone notice, you give them information in advance.
In advance, right.
So if I want to take time off, I need to give my boss notice, advance information.
Right, 15-day notice or a 20-day notice,
Yep.
etc. Great, so that's our language takeaway for today. Now we are ready to listen to our dialogue a second time, and this time it's going to be really slow.
Mr. McKenna, do you have a second? I need to talk to you about something.
Sure. Liv, what can I do for you?
Well, I was just wondering. You see, I know I've used up all my vacation days this year, but my sister is getting married, and the wedding is overseas, and, well...
You want to take some time off, is that right?
Well, sir, I was just hoping that I might be able to take some unpaid leave this year.
What dates are you planning on taking off? I'll need at least 2 months' notice so that I can plan for your absence.
I was thinking of taking off from September 1st until the 30th. Would you be okay with that?
I guess so.
A lot of non-native English speakers sometimes feel quite nervous about asking their boss for time off, hey?
Yeah, I guess it's a kind of a difficult subject.
Yeah, but today we're going to teach you some great phrases that you can use next time you need to ask for some time off.
Great, so why don't we take a look at putting it together?
Putting it together.
Okay, so on putting it together today, we're going to talk about some great phrases that you can use when approaching your boss.
Yes. We heard Liv say this.
Do you have a second? Do you have a second?
This is a nice way to make sure your boss isn't busy when you want to ask him something.
Right, but we could also say this in 2 different ways. Let's listen.
Do you have a minute? I want to ask you something.
Do you have a sec? I need to talk to you.
A great way to approach your boss.
Yeah, I love this phrase, do you have a sec?
Yeah, do you have a sec? It's really natural. Okay, so you've asked your boss for leave, and you want to make sure that he agrees with you.
Yes, and this is how Liv did it.
Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with that?
This is a great pattern, and we've got 2 other examples of how you can use it.
Example 1.
Are you all right with that?
Example 2.
Will you be okay with this?
Example 3.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, great examples, great patterns, really useful language.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's listen to our dialogue a third time.
Mr. McKenna, do you have a second? I need to talk to you about something.
Sure, Liv, what can I do for you?
Well, I was just wondering, you see, I know I've used up all my vacation days this year, but my sister's getting married and the wedding is overseas and, well...
You want to take some time off, is that right?
Well, sir, I was just hoping I might be able to take some unpaid leave this year.
What dates are you planning on taking off? I'll need at least 2 months' notice so that I can plan for your absence.
I was thinking of taking off from September 1st until the 30th. Would you be okay with that?
Well, I guess so.
I really noticed how Liv in this dialogue used a lot of really polite language, hey?
Yeah, I guess when you're talking to your boss, you really have to be respectful and you have to use really polite language.
What sort of things did she do to make herself seem more polite?
Well, she said a couple of interesting phrases. For example, well, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Right? And like, well, she's kind of setting up to ask for a favor or
Yeah. And she also used another phrase that I thought was interesting.
Yeah, she also said, I was just hoping that...
Yes.
Right? I was just hoping that maybe I could take some time off.
Yeah, again, that sort of doesn't sound too strong, so
Right.
it seems a bit more polite.
Yeah, because if she said, well, I want to take some time off, that's too strong.
Yeah. So I was just hoping.
And then, well, the boss says, okay, well, when do you want to leave? And she says, well, I was thinking of, right? I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Again, if she would have said, I want to.
Yes.
Too strong, right?
Yeah, in English, sometimes we are careful to not be too direct when we're asking for something, right?
Right, yeah.
Because if you're too direct, you sound a little bit impolite.
Yeah, you sound rude.
Yeah.
Okay, so great tips and great things to take into consideration the next time you're talking to your boss.
All right, guys, we're out of time, but thanks for listening. And be sure to check out our website, englishpod.com.
Right, where you can leave all your questions and comments, and we'll be there to answer them. But I guess until then, it's
goodbye.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you another great lesson about appointments.
That's right. We've got an elementary lesson about canceling an appointment.
It's a really common situation. Sometimes you have an appointment at the doctor's or something.
Or at work.
And you have to cancel it.
Yes, so we're going to learn some great language to help you cancel appointments today. Let's go straight to the dialogue then. We're going to be listening as Samantha and Angela have a phone conversation, and Angela is trying to cancel an appointment.
And it's going to be a little bit fast in the beginning, but when we come back, we will explain all the great vocabulary.
Hello, Samantha speaking.
Hi, Samantha. This is Angela calling.
Oh, hi, Angela. What's up?
I'm just calling about our meeting today. I wonder, is it possible to reschedule our appointment in the afternoon? I have a bit of an emergency that I need to take care of.
Let me see. It shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I'm really sorry. I hope it doesn't inconvenience you too much. It's just this thing came up and...
Angela, you know what? I can't make it to our meeting either. Why don't we postpone it to tomorrow afternoon at the same time?
Sounds great. See you tomorrow.
Angela? Angela, look up. See that lady over there who's trying on a red leather jacket? Isn't that Samantha?
What? No wonder she told me she couldn't make it to the meeting. Oh no, I think she saw me.
Okay, we have some really interesting words that you probably listened to in this dialogue, so let's start with language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Today on Language Takeaway, we're bringing you 3 words. Erica, what's the first one?
The first word is reschedule.
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 When you reschedule an appointment, you
change it for another day or time.
Exactly.
Great. The second word that we have is inconvenience.
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 So to inconvenience someone is to
make things not convenient for that person.
Right. So to make things a little bit difficult, or to
Yeah.
make things a little bit
Uncomfortable.
Inconvenience.
And our third word is
postpone.
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 Postpone. We have some examples of the word postpone that will help you to understand its meaning a little bit better. Let's listen.
Example 1.
Since Robert is late again, we have to postpone the meeting.
Example 2. I'm sorry, Simon, but your vacation has been postponed until next month. Example 3.
Unfortunately, the flight will be postponed.
Okay, so basically postpone is to delay.
That's right. Make it at a later time.
At a later time. Okay, some great words there, and we can listen to our dialogue a second time at a slower speed.
Hello, Samantha speaking.
Hi, Samantha. This is Angela calling.
Oh, hi, Angela. What's up?
I'm just calling about our meeting today. I wonder, is it possible to reschedule our appointment in the afternoon? I have a bit of an emergency that I need to take care of.
Let me see. It shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I'm really sorry. I hope it doesn't inconvenience you too much. It's just this thing came up and...
Angela, you know what? I can't make it to our meeting either. Why don't we postpone it to tomorrow afternoon at the same time?
Sounds great. See you tomorrow.
Angela, look up. See that lady over there who's trying on a red leather jacket? Isn't that Samantha?
What? No wonder she told me she couldn't make it to the meeting. Oh no! I think she saw me.
Alright, so in this dialogue we had some really great phrases that we should look at in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
We have 3 phrases for you today in Fluency Builder, and the first one is so common. It's a great phrase. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
So this is a very common way of saying hi.
Yeah.
What's up?
How's it going? What's going on?
Right. And now the interesting thing is that many people don't know how to answer this phrase.
Yes, I see this all the time with my students.
So if you say what's up, you should say
not much.
Not much.
Nothing.
Nothing. So what's up?
Not much.
Not much. All right. So the next time someone tells you what's up, now you know what to answer.
Yeah.
Okay, our second phrase is can't make it.
Can't make it.
I can't make it.
We use this phrase when we want to say I cannot attend.
I cannot make it.
Yeah, I can't come.
Right. So if you're having a party today, I say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it. It means I can't go.
Exactly. Maybe one more example. So Marco, we've got a meeting today at 3 o'clock.
I can't make it. I'm recording today.
Oh, okay.
So can't make it. Our last word for Fluency Builder. This thing came up.
This thing came up.
This thing came up.
This is a great way of giving an excuse for why you can't make it to
Right.
an event.
So I can't make it today because this thing came up. Like something
happened.
Something happened.
Yeah. Let's listen to a few examples of this phrase so we can see how it's used in the wild.
Example 1. I'm sorry that I'm late. This thing came up at work and I had to stay to take care of it. Example 2.
I can't talk right now. Something came up.
Example 3. Sorry I missed the meeting. Something came up.
Okay, great example, and I guess it's perfectly clear now.
Yes.
So let's listen to our dialogue a third time, and now we're ready to understand everything.
Hello, Samantha speaking.
Hi, Samantha. This is Angela calling.
Oh, hi, Angela. What's up?
I'm just calling about our meeting today. I wonder, is it possible to reschedule our appointment in the afternoon? I have a bit of an emergency that I need to take care of.
Let me see. It shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I'm really sorry. I hope it doesn't inconvenience you too much. It's just this thing came up and...
Angela, you know what? I can't make it to our meeting either. Why don't we postpone it to tomorrow afternoon at the same time?
Sounds great. See you tomorrow.
Angela? Angela, look up. See that lady over there who's trying on a red leather jacket? Isn't that Samantha?
What? No wonder she told me she couldn't make it to the meeting. Oh no, I think she saw me.
So Erica, have you ever canceled an appointment like this under false pretenses?
So for a fake reason?
For a fake reason? To go shopping?
Well, I may not have, told my boss, so I can't make it to a meeting because this thing came up and then I really was going shopping. And I've never done that. But how about you, Marco?
Well, in Ecuador, soccer is a really big thing.
Right.
So when we were playing in the World Cup, Ecuador was playing, and
not you, but
well, no, the Ecuadorian soccer team. I canceled an appointment because I was gonna go watch the game.
Really, a business appointment.
A business appointment.
Well, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the first time we were ever in the World Cup, and my boss didn't really put up much of a fight because I guess he also wanted to go watch the game.
So very similar to the events in this dialogue.
Very similar. I guess that's kind of the inspiration behind it.
All right, guys, I hope you found some of these phrases helpful and useful. And remember, if you have any questions about anything you heard in today's lesson, please visit our website at englishpod.com.
Right. There you'll be able to find more resources and also a large community to interact with.
Yes, including me and Marco.
Right. So we'll see you there. Until then, it's
bye.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have another great elementary lesson for you all.
That's right. We've got a lesson for all you sports fans out there.
Right. We're doing a podcast on sports today. We're starting off with basketball.
So we've got lots of language about basketball and sports in this lesson today.
Great. So let's take a look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
2 words for you today. The first one is foul.
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 A foul.
Basically, it's an action in a game that is not allowed.
Right. So if you're playing basketball and you kick the other player,
that's a foul.
That's a foul. That's a pretty big foul.
Yeah, if you're playing soccer and you pick up the ball,
that's also a foul. Our second word is ref.
Ref. R-E-F.
Also known as a referee. Right? So a referee is
basically like the judge of a game.
The judge of the game. So he's the one that will
say, that was a foul.
That was a foul, exactly. Ref. Also known as referee.
Okay, so 2 great words. We're going to hear them in our dialogue, and we're going to be listening to 2 guys who are watching a basketball game on TV.
Hey, has the game started yet?
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, who's winning?
Oh, Bulls, of course.
What? That wasn't a foul! Oh, come on, ref!
Don't worry, Shaq always screws up free throws.
You were right. He didn't make a shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot. 3-pointer, yeah.
Did you see that? He traveled and the ref didn't even call it.
This ref needs glasses. Hey, ref, open your eyes! Can't believe you didn't see that.
Okay, end of the first quarter. All right, I'm gonna make a beer run.
All right, a really common situation whenever you're watching games with friends, right?
You need to get a beer.
We'll talk about that in a little while. Let's take a look at language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Okay, let's take a look at our first word on language takeaway. Free throw.
Free throw.
Free throw.
Free throw. This one's a bit hard to say, isn't it?
It's a little bit hard to explain, but if you're playing basketball and if someone fouls you, you get a free throw.
So that's when all the players line up around you and you can throw the ball
to the basket without anyone blocking you or anything.
Right.
A little bit complicated, but I'm sure the basketball fans understand what a free throw is.
All right, our next word is
make the shot.
Make the shot.
Make the shot.
Let's listen to some examples and we'll understand the meaning of make the shot.
Example 1.
I can't believe it. He made the shot from the other side of the court.
Example 2. There's no way he's going to make that shot. He's way too far away from the net. Example 3.
If Gretzky makes this shot, they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
So it's clear now, to make the shot is to successfully put the ball in the basket.
You can use this expression in other sports as well, right?
Yeah, you could use it in hockey to make the shot. You could also use it in golf. In a lot of different sports, they use the term to shoot.
Yes.
Shoot the ball.
So anytime you shoot the ball, you can make the shot.
Exactly. Okay, our next word today, three-pointer.
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 A three-pointer.
It's a shot in basketball when you get 3 points.
Yes.
Usually this shot is taken from further out.
Yeah, a farther distance.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more difficult to make this shot.
You know, sometimes people might say a 3-point shot or something like that.
Yeah.
But our English pod learners, they know.
It's a 3-pointer.
Yeah, you'll sound really knowledgeable, really cool using that one.
3-pointer. And our last word today, travel.
Travel.
To travel.
Travel. When you walk with the basketball.
Well, technically, you're allowed to take 2 steps in basketball.
Okay.
So when you take more than 2 steps, that's traveling.
I understand.
So yeah, traveling means to take more than 2 steps with the ball.
Well, let's listen to the dialogue a second time. This time it'll be a bit slower so that we can understand some of these great phrases we just talked about.
Hey, has the game started yet?
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, who's winning?
The Bulls, of course.
What? That wasn't a foul! Oh, come on, ref!
Don't worry. Shaq always screws up free throws.
Yeah, you were right. He didn't make the shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
What?
3-pointer, yeah.
Oh, did you see that? He traveled and the ref didn't even call it.
This ref needs glasses. Hey, ref! Open your eyes! I can't believe you didn't see that.
Okay, the end of the first quarter. Hey, I'm gonna make a beer run.
Sweet.
All right, sports fans, so now let's take a look at Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, today on Fluency Builder, we have 2 really common words that you would listen to while you're watching a game.
Yeah, these are sort of slangy words, hey?
Yeah, they're kind of a common...
Like informal.
Informal. The first one that we have is screw up.
Screw up.
Screw up.
Screw up.
To screw up.
Yeah, so this is a good way of saying...
To make a mistake. Let's listen to some examples of how this word is used.
Example 1. Jill, you really screwed up this time. You're fired. Example 2.
This game is important. If you screw it up, we're out of the finals.
Example 3. I'm sorry, I know I screwed up. Will you forgive me?
Okay, so screw up is mess up.
Yeah, make a mistake.
Make a mistake. Great, and our last word on Fluency Builder today, A beer run.
A beer run.
Beer run.
So, what is this beer run?
You run to get beer. You go to the store and get beer, get more beer.
So it's just an expression meaning to go and get more beer.
Yeah, usually you're watching a game or you're at home with your friends. You run out of beer, so somebody has to
go get some beer.
Go get some beer. Make a beer run.
Yeah.
Hey, has the game started yet?
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago.
Who's winning?
The Bulls, of course.
What? That wasn't a foul! Oh, come on, ref!
Don't worry. Shaq always screws up free throws.
You were right. He didn't make the shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Three-pointer, yeah.
Did you see that? He traveled and the ref didn't even call it.
This ref needs glasses. Hey, ref, open your eyes! Can't believe you didn't see that.
Okay, end of the first quarter. All right, I'm gonna make a beer run.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed our lesson today. We'll be bringing you more sports lessons in the future.
Yes.
So if you have a particular sport that you want to learn about, you can tell us.
And come to our website, englishpod.com.
Yeah, and leave us your comments or your suggestions or any doubts that you have. And we're always there to answer it, so we'll see you there.
Yes, until next time.
Bye. Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
Today we're bringing you the third part of this series that we've created called I'm Sorry, I Love You.
That's right, the third part in our story about our English Pod couple.
Yeah, it's a romantic series, but today we're bringing you an argument.
That's right.
Like in every relationship, you have fights, you have discussions. So we're going to teach you how to do that in English.
That's right. In today's lesson, you'll learn some great language that people use when they get into an argument with their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Right, so why don't we take a look at vocabulary preview?
Vocabulary preview.
We have one phrase today. Get a hold.
Get a hold.
Get a hold.
To get a hold.
To get a hold of someone means...
Try and communicate with that person.
Exactly. So to try and call that person.
For example, I can say, I've been calling his phone all day, but I can't get a hold of him.
Or I could say, finally, Marco, I got a hold of you. Where have you been all day?
Exactly. Now we're going to listen to our dialogue, and as always, it's going to be at a normal pace, but you don't have to worry about it.
We'll come back and teach you all of the important words.
Where have you been? I've been trying to get a hold of you for hours.
There was an emergency at work, so...
I was waiting for you in the restaurant for 3 hours, and you didn't even have the decency to call me. Do you have any idea how embarrassed I was?
Honey, I promise this won't happen again. It's just that
Yeah, right. I've heard it all before. I'm not going to take any more of your empty promises. This is the 5th time you stood me up in 2 weeks. You need to get your priorities straight. I'm tired of you putting your job first all the time.
Come on, Veronica. That's not fair. I do care about you a lot. You know that. I try
You know what? Maybe we should just take a break. I need some time to think about where this relationship is heading.
But, Veronica, would you listen to me? There was a fire alarm at my office building today, and I was...
Okay, so a little bit of trouble in the relationship.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, well, I think she's overreacting.
You do?
We'll talk about that later on. But we saw some great words and phrases here, so it's time for language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Today on Language Takeaway, we're bringing you 3 words.
The first word is stood me up.
Stood me up.
Stood me up.
Stood me up.
The phrase stand someone up. When do we use this?
If, for example, you have a date and you don't go.
Okay, so let's say you and I were supposed to have dinner together,
Right.
and you just didn't come.
Right.
And didn't call.
Right. So I stood you up.
Yeah. Okay.
Stand someone up.
Our next word, priorities.
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 So priorities are something that's really important in your life.
That's right, like family or maybe work or making a lot of money or whatever it is.
What are your priorities in life?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And our last word for language takeaway, heading.
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 Heading. This is a bit of a funny verb, so let's listen to a couple of examples of how it's used so we can understand its meaning.
Example 1.
I don't know where our relationship is heading.
Example 2.
Where's this bus heading?
Example 3.
Where is this project heading?
So basically, heading means going.
Exactly.
A heading is where you're going.
Yep.
Okay, easy word and interesting. Okay, so now it's time for us to listen to the dialogue a second time. It's going to be slower, so now we can understand the words that we just talked about.
Steven, where have you been? I've been trying to get a hold of you for hours.
There was an emergency at work, so...
I was waiting for you in the restaurant for 3 hours, and you didn't even have the decency to call me. Do you have any idea how embarrassed I was?
Honey, I promise this won't happen again. It's just that
Yeah, right. I've heard it all before. I'm not going to take any more of your empty promises. This is the 5th time you've stood me up in 2 weeks. You need to get your priorities straight. I'm tired of you putting your job first all the time.
Come on, Veronica, that's not fair. I do care about you, a lot. You know that. I tried.
You know what? Maybe we should just take a break. I need some time to think about where this relationship is heading.
But, Veronica, would you just listen to me? There was a fire alarm at my office building today, and I was stuck.
Okay, now we saw some interesting phrases in dialogue.
Yeah, we saw some great phrases that people use when they're getting in a fight.
Right. Why don't we take a look at some of them in Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
The first phrase that I want to take a look at today is, do you have any idea?
Do you have any idea?
Do you have any idea?
This is a great way to set up an argument.
So let's listen to some examples of how you would set up an argument using this phrase.
Example 1.
You forgot my birthday. Do you have any idea how angry I am?
Example 2.
Julie kissed my boyfriend. Does she have any idea how mean that was?
Example 3.
I just broke up with my boyfriend. Don't you have any idea how sad I am?
So it's a great phrase to make that person understand that you were really worried or
Really angry.
Really angry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now the second phrase that we can take a look at is, I've heard it all before.
I heard it all before.
I've heard it all before.
I've heard it all before.
So this is a great phrase of just saying, you don't have to give me an excuse. I know what you're going to say.
Exactly.
And our last phrase today, take a break.
Take a break.
Take a break.
So when a couple takes a break, they sort of stop their relationship, right?
They're breaking up.
Yeah, but is it really like forever? Like a breakup that lasts forever?
Not, well, maybe. It could be forever, but they're saying let's just take some time away from each other for a couple of days or weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
And see what happens.
Yes. Take a break.
Take a break. Okay, so our happy couple is going to take a break.
Well, I guess they're not that happy then, hey?
Yeah. Okay, so let's listen to our dialogue again, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
Stephen, where have you been? I've been trying to get a hold of you for hours.
There was an emergency at work,
I was
so...
waiting for you in the restaurant for 3 hours. And you didn't even have the decency to call me. Do you have any idea how embarrassed I was?
Honey, I promise this won't happen again. It's just that I...
Yeah, right. I've heard it all before. I'm not going to take any more of your empty promises. This is the 5th time you stood me up in 2 weeks. You need to get your priorities straight. I'm tired of you putting your job first all the time.
Come on, Veronica. That's not fair. I do care about you a lot, you know that. I try
You know
to...
what? Maybe we should just take a break. I need some time to think about where this relationship is heading.
But, Veronica, would you listen to me? There was a fire alarm at my office building today, and I was...
So Marco, this phrase "to take a break" really reminds me of a Friends episode.
Yeah, that really famous Friends episode when Ross and Rachel were on a break.
And Ross like went with another girl, right?
Yeah. And then they definitely broke up after that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key issues, right? If you're taking a break, can you start to date someone else?
I've got to agree with Rachel.
Really?
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't.
So what's the point of taking a break?
Just you need some time away. You need some time to think.
But you're not really broken up.
Exactly.
That's convenient. I don't know. They were on a break. I agree with Ross.
Well, you would, wouldn't you?
All right, guys, we're out of time today. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. And be sure to listen next time because we will definitely have a part 4 to this.
Yes.
Coming out soon.
Yep.
And also come to our website at englishpod.com and leave all your questions and comments.
Yeah, Marco and I are always happy to hear from you, and we love answering your questions.
Right, and maybe you can tell us what you think happens in the 4th part.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, until then, it's...
Bye.
Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And we're bringing you another great elementary lesson for all those elementary learners.
In today's lesson, we've got some excellent language that will help you to describe someone's appearance.
It's something that everyone has learned before in school, describing people. So we're going to review that and give you some better phrases.
Some real English phrases.
Real English phrases. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
I heard you were on a date last night. So how did it go? I want all the juicy details.
Well, actually, we had a fantastic time last night. He was amazing.
Okay, now you really have to fill me in. What's he like?
He's really good looking. He's quite tall, around 6'1". He's in his early 30s, and he's got the most beautiful dark brown eyes.
He sounds hot. What does he do for a living?
You know what? This is the best part. David is a junior investment banker at Fortune Bank, so he's got a great career path ahead of him.
Hold on a sec. His name is David?
Yeah?
That's my brother!
All right, so interesting dialogue. Small world.
It is a small world. I don't know how I would feel about dating my friend's brother.
Really?
No, I wouldn't feel good about it.
Why?
Well, because if you break up with the brother, then that means you'll have to end the friendship with your best friend.
Maybe.
Dangerous.
Girls are more complicated with that. We're not that complicated. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's look at the language before this gets too far.
All right, let's take a look at language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
On language takeaway today, we're bringing you 3 words.
The first one is heard.
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 So you guys know this word. Past tense of hear, right?
Right.
But the way it's used is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen to a couple of examples of how it's used.
Example 1.
I heard you're dating a new guy.
Example 2.
Julie told me she heard that you're pregnant.
Example 3.
What? You got fired? I heard that you quit.
So when you say, for example, oh, I heard you were pregnant.
Oh, this is like telling someone that you found some information about them, but you're not sure if it's true or if it's
Exactly.
false.
Okay. Our next word, fill me in.
Fill me in.
Fill me in.
Fill me in.
So when you tell someone to fill you in,
You're saying, tell me about it.
tell me the details.
Uh-huh.
I could say, I'm sorry I was late for the meeting. Can you fill me in on what happened?
Exactly. Or I could say, I missed the first 5 minutes of the movie. Fill me in.
Exactly. Okay, great word. And our last phrase today, career path.
Career path.
Career path.
Career path.
So what's a career path?
I guess this is the plan for your job over several, like 10 or 20 years.
Right. All the different jobs and things you do during your career.
Yeah.
That's your career path.
So in this case, David has a really good career path because he's going to be a really rich and powerful investment banker.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, career path. Very good. So now let's listen to our dialogue again and pay special attention to the language used to describe David, because when we come back, we're going to talk about this.
Irene, I heard you were on a date last night. So how did it go? I want all the juicy details.
Well, actually, we had a fantastic time last night. He was amazing.
Okay, now you really have to fill me in. What's he like?
He's really good looking. He's quite tall, around 6'1". He's in his early 30s, and he's got the most beautiful dark brown eyes.
He sounds hot. What does he do for a living?
You know what? This is the best part. David is a junior investment banker at Fortune Bank, so he's got a great career path ahead of him.
Hold on a sec. His name is David?
Yeah?
That's my brother.
So we found some really great words and phrases used to describe someone.
Exactly. There's a lot of language in here talking about the way someone looks. So let's listen again as Irene describes David.
He's really good looking. He's quite tall, around 6'1". He's in his early 30s, and he's got the most beautiful dark brown eyes. He's really good looking. He's quite tall, around 6'1". He's in his early 30s, and he's got the most beautiful dark brown eyes.
Okay, so let's break this down.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing she says is, he's really good looking.
Good looking.
Good looking.
Good looking.
So good looking is the equivalent of handsome.
Or pretty.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Good looking.
But I think good looking sounds a lot more natural than handsome.
Yeah, you wouldn't really use handsome.
I would never say that. Even though it's correct, it just good looking sounds much more natural.
I guess for me, whenever someone says handsome, it sounds like an older person saying
Yeah,
that.
it sounds old fashioned.
Like my grandma would say,
Exactly.
oh, he's a handsome young man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now let's look at the next thing she said. He's quite tall.
Quite tall.
Quite tall.
Quite tall.
So we know quite means very.
Yeah. And tall, we know.
Right. So you can describe a person in different ways.
Yeah.
He's quite tall.
He's kind of tall.
He's sort of tall.
He's a bit short.
He's not that short.
Yeah. Okay. So these are great words we can use to describe someone's height.
Okay. Then she talked about his exact height.
Yes.
right?
She said he was 6'1".
6'1", well, around 6'1".
Yeah.
This is interesting because in the United States and Canada, you give a person's height using feet and inches,
That's right.
right?
So we don't talk about meters and centimeters.
Right. So 6'1" would be 6 feet with 1 inch.
Exactly.
But in other countries, you would talk about centimeters or meters. So 6'1" is about 180.
Yeah, about that.
So this is an interesting difference between.
Like English-speaking countries and European countries.
Right. Okay. So the next time you give your height to someone, make sure you do it in feet, more or less.
It sounds a lot more natural. And actually, if you say to somebody in Canada, for example, I'm 175 centimeters, they wouldn't know really how tall that was.
How that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next part is really, really useful. She said he's in his early 30s.
In his early 30s.
His early 30s.
Early 30s.
So this is a way of describing someone's age without actually giving the exact number.
Exactly.
So, for example, early 30s.
So like 32, 33.
Mid-30s.
Like 34, 35, 36?
Oh, 36?
Yeah.
And then late 30s would be?
38, 39.
And you could do the same thing for
like 40s.
40s, 50s, 60s.
20s.
20s, right? Starting at 20s. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do this before your teens.
I don't think it's really common to talk about your teens.
Right, you wouldn't say like his mid-teens or early teens.
Yeah, sounds a bit weird.
Okay, great language used to describe people.
But one more word.
Right.
He's hot.
He's hot. Or he sounds hot.
Yeah.
He's hot, yeah.
So this is another sort of informal way of describing someone who's really good looking.
Good looking.
Really sexy.
Right, it could be girl or boy. She's hot.
Yeah,
He's hot.
but it is informal.
It is really informal. Maybe even a little bit offensive. You wouldn't go up to a girl and say, wow, you're hot.
No, it's a little bit too impolite.
Right. You would say, wow, you're really pretty or you're gorgeous, but you wouldn't say, wow.
No, you would never say that to somebody.
Right. That's something you would comment with your friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've looked at some really good language for describing people. Now we could listen to our dialogue a third time, and I'm sure you will understand everything.
I heard you were on a date last night. So how did it go? I want all the juicy details.
Well, actually, we had a fantastic time last night. He was amazing.
Okay, now you really have to fill me in. What's he like?
He's really good looking. He's quite tall, around 6'1". He's in his early 30s, and he's got the most beautiful dark brown eyes.
He sounds hot. What does he do for a living?
You know what? This is the best part. David is a junior investment banker at Fortune Bank, so he's got a great career path ahead of him.
Hold on a sec. His name is David?
Yeah?
That's my brother!
Okay, so we looked at really useful language for describing people, and we want you to describe your girlfriend, boyfriend,
or even yourself.
Or even yourself. What do you look like? How tall are you?
How old are you?
How old are you?
Yeah, and try and use the language from today's lesson.
Right, so come to EnglishPod.com and leave your questions and comments on our website.
And your descriptions.
And your descriptions.
Yep.
And we'll definitely be there to answer any doubts as well.
Yes. Well, guys, thanks for listening today. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye. Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And we're bringing you another great elementary lesson today, one that takes place at the office.
Yes. Today, we're going to teach you some great phrases so that you can ask people to help you.
Right, and I think this dialogue is with a new person at the office. So when you're new, you always need to ask people for favors.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be asking for a favor.
So Marco, what exactly is a favor?
Something that a person does for you.
Like a small, helpful thing.
Yeah, a small, helpful thing. So, you know, like, can you pass me that pencil? Maybe that's even a favor.
Yeah, or maybe, can you pick me up on your way to work?
Yeah, that's a favor. Or even lending money to your friend.
Yeah.
That's a favor.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be talking about, favors and how to ask for one.
Because you always have to do this at work.
At work, with your friends, with your family. So let's listen to the dialogue and then we'll come back and explain all the vocabulary.
Sorry to bother you. My name is Rachel. I'm new here. Can I ask you for a favor?
Hi, Rachel. Welcome on board. I'm afraid I can't help you right now. I'm getting ready for a very important meeting.
Excuse me, but can I bother you for a second?
You know what? I'd love to help you, but I'm about to meet an important client. Can I ask Sean instead? He sits right over there.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sean. Could you do me a quick favor?
Actually, I'm working on a document that's due in a couple of minutes. I really can't talk right now. Sorry about that.
Jeez! I just want to know where the bathroom is. What's wrong with you people?
So a pretty busy office.
Pretty unhelpful colleagues.
I know, everyone's so busy they didn't help this poor girl.
Yeah, I hope she found the bathroom.
Now let's take a look at the language from the dialogue. So let's start with language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
There's some great language in this dialogue, wasn't there?
Yeah, a lot of interesting phrases and words. The first one that I saw that was really interesting is on board.
On board.
Welcome on board.
Well, we've got some examples of how this phrase is used, so let's listen to them to help us understand the meaning.
Example 1. Welcome on board, Sarah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.